Uh-oh. OBS is already disconnecting. OBS is already disconnecting. And why do I sound doubled? And why do I sound it's that? Now am I not doubled? Now am I not doubled? Oh. Now am I not doubled? Oh. I hear a lot of noises. Do I sound doubled to everybody? Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Now are we here? Do I sound like a normal human being? Do I not sound doubled? Maybe it's that. Now are we here? I think I need a boost. I think I need a bit of a boost. Hello. Yeah, we need a bit of a boost here. Oh, and the chat's working. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. How's the levels for everybody? How's everybody doing? Hello there. I have 2 full cases of Balisongs right here. And that is going to be an adventure. And I mean 1 case Foxtrot case. And then 1 Bravo case filled to the brim with Balisongs. Bad music, voice balance. That's what I thought. How about now? How does that sound? Because the music, we got some Zelda lo-fi today. A lot of frightening things. Isn't that the whole world? We got the stream there. Beautiful. Bam! Now we got tier lists. You identify as. And apparently, OBS keeps telling me that we're disconnecting and reconnecting, but it appears to be fine. So isn't that the most fun thing you've ever seen in your entire life? So, let's talk about Balisongs, right? They're kind of wacky. They're pretty wild. Wet and wild, some may say. And I have a lot of them, and I'm starting a new video format as I want to review more stuff and have it not take like literally 3 to 6 months every single time that we want to talk about something. Because that's just that as fun as that is for the viewer, taking that long is really annoying. And to be able to relieve myself of feeling the need to compare every single Balisong we talk about to everything that I own, I figured it would just be easy to be like, here's my ranking. You can see what I like better. I'll make some notes about why I like each one. And then we'll be off to the races. So I'm like, this would be a fun stream. Ethan and I did a lovely stream back in November of last year. That was even pre... where is it? That was pre-Volp Pro that we did that stream. So there's going to be some new stuff in here for me to rank. And even some of it that wasn't in that original tier list stream. Because both Ethan and I hadn't both flipped it, which was the whole idea of that. But this will allow the lovely viewer to be able to compare and contrast things based on my opinion, which of course you can take with a grain of salt if you feel the need to, because obviously I am one man and I have biases of my own. Blade biases, some might say. Hopefully did I destroy my... It did not! Wow, look at that. Here we go. Okay. So, I have... Let me do some sacrilege here and move my camera over. This is one case that we will be working with today. Just one of them. My mic's a little quiet. I can fix that. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. How about that? How does that sound? You're going to be able to hear me for a second. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Oh, there we go. We could go even more than that. There we go. Audio levels. I'm a professional. There we go. No, Ethan, you're right. The audio levels are a little low, but I think that should be tolerable now. But then again, Ethan, you did just go to a concert where your ears were absolutely destroyed. So what are you gonna do? But anyway, so for some of these images, I didn't want to go through the process of pulling images for all of them again. So some of these are simply just the word of each one. But this is every balisong that I can say that I own. I have a couple duplicates here and there, but this is in general the balisongs that I own. And I'm going to be showing each and every one of them and putting them somewhere. God help me. But we are going to see how this goes. And I realize that one of them is out of order because this is technically the very first one we're going to talk about. And it's going to be interesting going through this because as Ethan and I found out with the balisong, or with the tier list stream that we did, these all got shifted around by the time we were done with it. I am not going to reference that list. I thought about pulling it up for comparison's sake, but I don't want... That was, at the end of the day, a mishmash of Ethan and I's opinions versus just what I purely think even... So that's what we're going to do. How does that sound? You love me. That escalated quickly. Escalated very quickly. But you know, sometimes that's what we need in this life. We need a bit of escalation. Anyway, so some of these, most of these have not been tuned in a very, very hot minute. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the lovely girlfriend with the big eyes right there. She's just in the other room playing some Fallout right now. The Fallout TV show is a certified banger. I love it. It's an excellent show, and I've been so happy with how they've been doing that show. But anyway, so I have a separate little list here where I'm going to be updating things on the side, so excuse me if I have some busy work and all that. Part of the reason I've never done this is it would be so difficult to stay consistent. Yeah, this will be a little bit all over the place, for sure. But we will see. So some of the fun ones are at the bottom, like this one down right there. That's sitting. Oh, I have it buried right now. We'll get into that. We will get into that. I don't think I missed anything. If I missed anything, I'll add it later. This is more so I was going to sit here and do this anyway, but now you get to be here and experience it with me. And boy, will it be spider time. But this is all inspired by the AcidWorks Zyx, which is the first video I'm going to be doing in this new video format. That I am pretty excited about. I recorded it today, and I have all my camera gear shoved to the side, so you can't see it. It's going to be a much more chill format. That is going to be much easier to edit, but still with the same stylish, fun B-roll, and just a little, got some more chill energy to it. So I am very excited about that. But welcome, all nearly 30 of you. I'm very excited to do this stream. Spider, I hardly know her. There it is. Kumi, you always are with the hardly knowers. And it's just... Anyway. Okay. The one alien. Here's the boy. Here's the one alien. It has grown on me, and then it hasn't grown on me. And then it flips back and forth all live long day. I don't pick it up that often. It usually lives in the bottom of my case. Goes for like $40-50. I think they still technically sell it because they made like thousands of them. I was impressed by it initially, but the tuning, like I've tried my darndest, and it just rattles all live long day. Am I ranking modded spider knife or non-modded? That is a great question, and we will get there when we get there, because I have considered that. But the one alien, I think it's not terrible. The grip is fine. It flips. Whenever it's tuned well, it sounds pretty damn good. But right now, I'm going to throw it in C tier. There's going to be high C and low C, but ultimately, I'm just going to take this list at the end of the day, and then I can show it here. This is kind of roughly what I've been working on. Oh, here's where I was trying to making sure I knew how many things needed thumbnails. But I have everything here. This will all get turned into a much more fleshed out list in due time. But the one alien, that goes into C tier. This is an interesting one. This is a video that absolutely popped off for Will and I, where we said that it was one of the best balisongs money could buy. And because it was $30 on Amazon back in 2019. Wow, good golly. Like, it flips. Like, here I am chaplaining it right now. It's on bearing pivots. It's on... it has G10 scales. I think it's stainless steel liners. But it's just kind of uninspired, and it's literally a clone. And it functions for what it is, but it's weirdly small. Like, let me get a... Here's one coming up. It's not that much bigger. But it just... It really gives you an idea of how different the size is. So that's fun. I don't think it holds up. There's a lot of other stuff that I would argue is better these days. So I'm gonna throw the Andux into probably D tier. Like if it was your first one, this was one that I flipped for a long time. This is one that I let Adriana borrow. But it just the bearings just meh, and it does like I said, it does the chaplain, like it does everything you need it to do, but it's just small and it's kind of clangy. Ugh. And there it goes. So I don't trust it to really stand up to everything else in my collection. Someone said the Antarctic is small. Not really. Here's a Kraken trainer for comparison. Like, it is smaller, but only by, I don't know, a centimeter, maybe less. But we'll get to that. Where did I just put that? Where did that? Oh, it came from right there. Okay, the Andux going in D tier. Antarctic. I kind of flip-flop on the Antarctic, and oh my god, this might not take 45 years because I've already done 2 of them. Ethan and I took like 5-10 minutes to do one of them, but that's just the nature of this. Yeah, Kumi, yeah, so much. Let me grab it off the fucking floor. Oh my god. So much has changed. Like, it's amazing that this was the it was a genuinely good thing at the time, but it is still a clone, and I just don't know. And I think these are, yeah, it's T6 and T8 screws, this really wacky Zen nipple. Like, it's just it's kind of a wacky time. Okay, so now, but the Antarctic, I've flip-flopped on it for a long time. I like it at the end of the day, and I just got confirmation today. Also, no, this is peach, some kind of peach beer that Adriana got me, because I've had a very long week and a particularly long day today. And so she was absolutely lovely. She went to get ice cream and pizza and beer. So I got I don't know where. I'll have to use my one ring from New Zealand that I got, because that's marriage material right there if I've ever heard it. Simple peach spiked lemonade. There it is. That's it. Yeah, we have genuinely good balisongs at $40 to $50. Like the Canyon, which I don't own a Canyon. They're technically Will's. I took them back over to his place because we shot an Amazon like searching video, because more of those are coming. But I don't technically own a Canyon, but I would like to own a Canyon. Specifically the acid wash one, because I think it's really pretty. But the Antarctic, I think, is pretty good. People have given me flack, or given us flack, because we gave it an 8 out of 10 durability score back when we were doing the BS score lists like regularly, or the BS scores. I stand by that wholeheartedly, because after that, like, I had a weird, the reason that people gave us shit was because it dropped it one time and the handle binded, but they updated the hardware, specifically the washers, and this was my beater. I have 2 of them, actually. This was my beater. I would take it every single day on a walk, and I've dropped it probably 100+ times, and it refuses to quit. And I think it flips pretty well. Oh, and the thing I was going to confirm, they are sending me a Glider Pacific. I reached out to them yesterday, and with the new format that I'm doing, I'm going to be able to talk about way more stuff, way more efficiently, and it's not going to necessarily require, because currently with our reviews, I usually have something for a couple weeks, at least a week, and then Will has to have it for a couple of weeks. So just the time spent gathering our thoughts is a couple weeks, but these are going to be much more geared toward just me, and it's not going to be like, I'll get Will's thoughts, but it's not every video is going to have to be like co-hosted by each other, where we each have our own sections and all that. But I'm getting a Glider Pacific, and I'm very excited about that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it. I told them that I didn't need to keep it, that I didn't need to do any extensive durability testing or anything like that. So we'll see when that time comes, but I should be getting one of those. But for this, I don't know. Right now, I'm going to throw it in B, but that might end up moving up to A. But I see this as like a high B, low A, in my opinion. I think the grip is really solid for a 6061 aluminum Balisong. I prefer it much more than or compared to the Arctic itself. And it has a really nice feel in the hand, and the sound I don't mind. Sandwich aluminum Balisongs are pretty rare these days. So I think it's pretty dope. So I'm going to put it in B tier for now. The Balanza from Kershaw is something I have talked about almost not at all. I got it, almost a year ago now, I think. I was physically in a store and saw it for like $70. And I'm like, I am just too curious. I need to know. I don't like it at all. Like, especially now that like the Canyon exists, it's kind of similar to the Canyon in that it's all stainless steel and made in China. But it just feels like a $20-$30 trainer. And mine in particular had like this just kind of wacky, let me bring the light in here, like it just kind of naturally will sit unevenly, like not to the point where it like binds up or anything like that. Is it heavier than the Canyon? I believe it's lighter than the Canyon, mostly because it's sandwich. But it's for the price, it's outclassed by so many things. I almost did like a YouTube short about it, but I can't care enough. So the Balanza, I'm gonna put it down there with the Andux. I think it's worse. The grip is fine, and if you start with this, you're gonna be fine. Like you can, like, let me give it it scared the Chaplin, but it does. It flips. But it's just made in China by Kershaw. So, meh. So yeah, D tier, I'm happy with that. The Barracuda. I think the Barracuda is pretty damn sweet. I made a YouTube short about the Barracuda. I really like the whole pattern now. I like that it's about 3.9 ounces. It goes for like $130, $140, I believe. You can get the unmilled version for like $110, $120, which is a really good deal. I think it has a nice clack to it. I think the flipping is probably one of the closer. It's not normal. BB Barfly stuff is known for being kind of crazy, and just different. Not in a bad way, but just it's different. But this is kind of more closer to like a more standard kind of vibe. And I really enjoy it a lot. I think the grip's good. It's got this nice little speed channel here. and they sent this to me or to us for free, for full disclosure. I'll try to disclose everything that I can. All the ones, the Balanza, the Alien, and the Antarctic, I paid for all of those. The Andux was technically free, but that's because Will bought it. We paid for it. This was given to me for free. But I think it's great, and honestly, I will put it above the Antarctic for now. I would say, for me personally, it's A tier. I think it's very solid in one of the, like this is technically like a Volt Pro competitor in terms of the price range, and I wouldn't blame anybody for going for this over a Volt Pro. I prefer the Volt Pro, and we'll get into that, but this is a banger, a certified banger, and I hope BB Barfly continues to go absolutely crazy. Is every Brandon Baker bead blasted? Most of the things so far are somewhat bead blasted. We used to bead blast the Brandon clones, but OSHA got involved, and then the UN got involved, and then NATO got involved, and then the Axis Powers got involved, and then the EPA got involved, and then the school board for Tioga High School got involved. And then the Romans got involved, and then it's like, once the Romans are involved, like, oh, Pippa, do you need to go? Pippa needs to leave. Pippa's on the ground. Pippa, do you want to come say hello to everyone? Give me 1 second, everyone. Pippa wants to say hello. Pippa, want to come here? Oh. Pippa says hello. Wow, wow, I love balisongs. Bow, wow, wow. Be free.
Runs away.
All right, she bowed, she wowed, and now, wow. Anyway, yes, that's Pippa, Adriana's 10-year-old English bulldog, and she is a blessing. Rah, I fucking love Pippa. Isn't she great? She breathes a lot, very loudly. She's quite an attention seeker, but we love her. God bless the Pippa, the Pipmeister. Some might say. Is my camera out of focus? It's hard to tell with how small it is right now. I could autofocus. Oh, that's much better, I think. Is that better? Yes, that's better. There we go. Okay. Are the Brandon clones MachineWise tolerances, or are they CCC tolerances? They're actually BBB tolerances, and I'll let you decide. Why the hell did my light turn off? I have you plugged in. What? Oh, well. We got Moody. It's Moody now? Sure. How about that? I kind of like this vibe better. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, anyway. Have you tried the hognose? I have tried. Yeah, if anyone has any opinions on anything, I'm happy to answer. Because, of course, I don't own every Balisong that I have extensive opinions on. I did not like the hognose almost at all. I'd probably put it high C, low B. Probably low B. It was just too light for me. And I love Grant's stuff. Well, boy, we'll be getting into that. But for me, meh. Especially for the price, like obviously his scale, you gotta price things higher, but for more than a Prisma Pro, rip to the Prisma Pro, or I guess upcoming rip to the Prisma Pro, just meh. Anyway, the BB Firefly. I picked this up today. I have not oiled this in a long time, but this thing is still really, really solid. It feels great. So here's the BB Firefly. Goes for 150 these days. This is a BB Firefly V1. So I just have BB Firefly there, but it is a V1. And I think this is still great. It's like 4.5, 4.6 ounces, which puts it on the heavier side, which makes a few tricks, as you just kind of saw there, a little weird. And the Chaplain experience isn't super comfortable. But rollovers are really fun. It's like really durable. And despite its weight, it feels lighter than it is. And it's got a really solid feel to it. This is like the third Balisong that I reviewed for the channel. So I think it's great. I don't think it's better than the Antarctic, and I don't think it's better than the Barracuda. So I'm going to throw it right there for now. But the Firefly V2, it has this part here removed, I believe, so the handle weight is a little bit less. And from what I hear, that improved things a lot. So I definitely recommend it. BB Barfly. I hope they've been doing a lot of sales, which generally means that they really need to sell things. And I hope that they're staying afloat because they are offering up some really, really cool stuff these days. I have not tried a BB Superfly, and I really want to try a BB Superfly. Been between two Bally's for a minute and not sure what to get, so any opinions are dope. Rep Trainer or Madco? Those are so different. Chat, I have barely flipped. I don't even... So, given that I haven't done that, I'm not going to be the best judge of that. I'm sure there's going to be people in the chat that have a better answer to that. But they're so different. Like, you're talking sandwich with G10, and then the Madco, just like the feel in the hand is so different. They're priced about the same. On paper, I would probably say the Madco if you just want a straight out of the box, like, decent experience. But if you want customizability, then probably the Replicant. But those are two very different ball games. Okay, now we got the Glider Bermuda. I don't like it. I tried to like it. I had zippy inserts in here at one point. But here it is. It went for about $50, I believe. It was manufactured in China, and they even said that it was kind of a failure. Not maybe not a failure, but like that it didn't turn out the way that they hoped it would. So they were going to release it at a lower price and all that. The grip is fine and it flips fine, but it's just far too heavy for my liking. Even with the zippy inserts, it just didn't get there for me, and it just feels, especially in a twirl, kind of feel the Canyon, I feel, just carries a little too much momentum in a lot of ways, and that makes it pretty sluggish to me in a lot of tricks. And the Bermuda kind of falls into that, which is just kind of the nature of stainless steel. For $50, there are worse things for $50. But I can totally see why they didn't move forward with this. I'd love to see a revision of it for sure. It was definitely them trying to make something probably like as cheap as they possibly could. But so A for effort and a low C for the tier list. How about that? How about them apples? Kind of heavy and sluggish. Yeah, I agree. Welcome, Zach, the fishy. The zippy spacers and blade insert made the balance pretty good. It's just a bit heavy. Yeah, overall, it's just a bit heavy. And that's where it didn't really help adding weight to the blade. Is just it's already kind of just feels heavy in general. The butter knife. Sorry for the tease. We'll get to that. Boy, will we get to that. You got to stick around for the stream. Come on, you didn't think I was going to rank the butter knife this soon? Come on now. Where even is it? Oh boy. There, oh, look at that handle guy. People going to Blade Show are going to be able to flip this. I'm going to have to Loctite it again because it actively falls apart as you flip it. I think it technically, it swings right now. But the butter knife, we can't rank that soon. But we'll get there. I'm going to set this aside. Okay. All right, now for the Tay Flipper The Tay Flipper Calico. Let's talk about the Tay Flipper Calico. I'm calling it. It breaks at Blade Show. It has. At one of them, somebody was flipping it at the pit, and one of the Zen pin screws fell out. Brandon, you ruined the joke. It was supposed to be a reference to one of Ethan's vids. I'm so sorry. Whoosh. You whooshed me. Do you think I should 3D print my own mods or Zippy mod? You do whatever you would like. The more the merrier. Anyway, the Tay Flipper Calico. I think it's pretty dope. I took this on my trip to New Zealand with me, And it held up great. And I loved having this thing with me. I love the sound that it makes. Just one of the best 3D printed sounds I've heard, personally. Unfortunately, Tay is MIA. And even I don't know what is going on with Tay. I've heard lots of things about how he's not responding to orders. And how he is just conducting his business. I haven't heard anything from him at all. And have heard that tons of orders haven't been fulfilled, but you can still order stuff from Tay. And that is a big, big problem. So I don't currently recommend buying this until Tay makes some sort of update, but I won't let that affect my opinion. Thankfully, there's less 3D printed stuff at the beginning here. Ethan and I felt that during our tier list stream that we did. So I'm going to be conservative right now, because comparing plastic trainers to metal trainers is just, it's almost silly to even try. But I'm going to put it realistically in like B tier for now. Is there any updates on what happened to Bite Blades? Yes, there are. And we will get there. For now, he went to college apparently, and that's why he abandoned his whole business and let his website lapse. He did one more drop at the Titan, and now I believe he's gone again, and may be gone for good. Anyway, the Cycloid HD. I really dig this thing. This is another one I made a YouTube short about. The flipping of it is genuinely cool. It has really, really good grip. It's definitely, it feels like a 3D printed plastic Balisong for sure, but it feels very solid in that regard. It's not super consistent though. The Chaplain experience leaves a lot to be desired, and that's with me having adjusted this in like every way that I can. Whenever you remove these weights, it gets a little bit better, but not by a significant amount. But the weight system in this thing, where you just pull it out and then that's it, and then you can swap the tungsten weights, is just genius. And I think it's one of the best weight systems in any Balisongs, and the fact that you don't even need a tool to do it. And as a tool, I can know how difficult and annoying it is to use myself. So I think that's sick. And it even has like this kind of like Sandwich / channel kind of vibe to it, with this thing in the middle there. And it's just a wacky little guy. I love what Zippy's doing, and I hope that he never has to stop, because he's providing some of the best stuff in this whole hobby. In my opinion, especially all the accessories that he sells for so many different things. So for me, I'm gonna put it again. I'm gonna try to be realistic with the plastic stuff. I don't know that I like it more than the Calico. No, I do. Mostly because of the customization. Yeah, mostly because of the customization. And of course, I love my black, red, and purple. But yeah, this is just such a cool thing. And I'm not going to be ranking all this just like, oh, how does it purely flip? Just based on, like, how is this ranked just based on the flipping? The way I'm doing it is I'm factoring in the customization and all the options with that kind of stuff. And customization is very important to me. On the other end, the Cycloid V1. I don't like it. I definitely think the Cycloid HD is a huge step up over everything that the Cycloid was before it. I'm not even a huge fan of the Cycloid V2. I've tried the V2. I don't own a V2. But very cool construction and like very good idea, but this is definitely a V1 product. It was a little expensive too at $69. But I would definitely, I'm gonna put it, I might even put it, yeah, it's going in D. Good try, Zippy, but I'm glad you've moved on. from that point. That's a 1.5. Is it? I don't think it is. Unless I missed something else. It was what? You were watching it. Ted, you were watching Interstellar? Oh my god, is it? Did Interstellar get re-released in theaters? What? When? Was that today? No, okay, wait. Variety reports that sci-fi will hit cinemas again on September 27th. And be in the IMAX. I've never seen it in IMAX. Oh my god, I'm going to watch it. Mother of God. Interstellar is one of my favorite movies of all time. Anyway, moving on. Thank you, Ted, for that. I also don't know where you saw that or how you saw that, but congratulations. The carbon fiber Cygnus, which this one's kind of an enigma to me because I don't even know how I came to own this. And I know it's very expensive because it has a polished blade and carbon fiber scales. And it's an Adriana. Interstellar! Adriana's been working on this for me. Ted, you'll like this. It's lovely. Adriana is an absolute artist, and I love that she does this stuff. Thank you, baby. Thank you. But this one's just kind of wacky. Will just showed up at my house and was like, here you go. Here's your polished Cygnus. And I didn't deserve that. But it is different than the normal Cygnus. My roommate is a movie theater manager. He told me they're releasing old movies for Lord of the Rings. Ted, I am going to Montana. Lord of the Rings and Interstellar in the same 2-week period in theaters. Mother of Pearl. Thank you, Yo-Yo Bunny. But it does flip different. The carbon fiber, I would say, makes it feel a little bit lighter, sort of, ish. And it's much more rough, like significantly, feeling it again, significantly more rough between the two. But the blade's beautiful. But I would say they overall, to the feel in my hand, they are very, very close. So for right now, I'm just going to throw them both in S tier because they're fantastic. The G10 implementation is beautiful. And that's of course what inspired the G10 placement on the Volt Pro. Or not the placement, but just the integration of it. But of course the Volt Pro is channel and this is sandwich. And this is titanium and this is aluminum. So different ball games for sure, but just expertly done. And I still need to mod this bad boy because there's so many cool things I could do, like with my modded Volt Pro. That's all the way up there, so I can't reach it, but I'll grab it when it's more relevant. But they're great, and yeah, they're both in S tier. But I think, but which one's better? I think just purely from a look standpoint and a grip standpoint. No, honestly, I think I like the normal Cygnus more. In terms of how it flips, this is definitely the better. It's the more expensive one, but the carbon fiber is just a little too rough for my taste. But if you're into that, that's great. Holy crap, there's a carbon fiber Cygnus. Yeah, I don't even know how many times they released. I know they were not cheap though, especially with this crazy polished blade. Like, oh my god, look at it. Oh my god. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, they're both great. Now. Oh, I never put this one in here. So you know what? I'm going to skip it. Here's a Max Ace Banshee V2. I don't like it. I would have put it in low C tier. It's just disappointed me. The G10 felt awful. I thought it was aluminum, but it wasn't. It refuses to hold a tune even with Loctite. The blade is cool, but you can't even buy these anymore because it's Max Ace and they release products one time and then never talk about them ever again. But yeah, there's that. Anyway, the edit. The Flip Forge edit. Would you trade any Ballies? I would, if you want the Banshee for some reason, I'd trade that. For sure. I'm going to college pretty soon, and I really, really don't want to stop flipping any recommendations from anyone for what I should do. Going to college doesn't mean you have to stop flipping, especially if you bring a trainer. You could flip in your, like, wherever you're staying. I wouldn't necessarily recommend bringing it to, like, class with you. But you can still bring a trainer, unless they have, like, some super, super strict rule about that. But I'd just bring it, especially if it's just a trainer. Anyway, the Flip Forge edit. I love this thing. I think it flips awesome. I am super excited for the palette from Flip Forge. I think that's an awesome name. It looks exceptional. One of the coolest looking plastic balisongs I've seen yet. But the customizability for this is so damn cool, and it absolutely sucks that it's going away. Wait, correct me. Is this one going away, or is it the edit light that's going away? I don't remember off the top of my head. I believe the edit is going away, but I can't confirm. I think it's the edit. Okay. Full edit. The full edit is going away, and that sucks because I like the edit more than the edit light. But I'm glad to say that I own one and that this is going to be able to stay in my Balisong collection for a long, long time. But it is 3D printed. That makes it a little wacky. The weight of it is great for 3D printed stuff, but it is still 3D printed at the end of the day. So I like it more than... Yeah, I like it more than the Cycloid HD. So I'm going to put it above that. I'm going to probably keep all the plastic stuff kind of bundled together wherever it all ends up. Update Windows. Oh, I have. It's for some reason OBS is telling me that the stream is disconnecting and then reconnecting and then disconnecting and reconnecting. I have no idea why. Can I mute? Can I mute the notifications? Can I make that go away? Manage notifications. Get notifications from apps. Can I make it not make a sound? Allow notifications to play sounds. There we go. Gone. Don't have to worry about that ever again. Anyway, now the edit light I think is pretty comparable, and it does definitely feel lighter. But I like the extra weight of the original edit more, but you get about the same amount of customizability with it, so that is a huge win. But I like the normal edit more, and I think I like the edit less than the Cycloid, so I'm going to throw that about right there. The Fortress 2 Spy. Sidetrack Brandon achievement unlocked. I have some level, not will levels of ADHD, but it is there to a small amount. Not to the point that I think I would be like diagnosed with it, but we all have little doses of it, and that's okay. Your content is awesome, Brennan. You never fail to boil my organs inside out. You know, I've been wanting to change the name of my followers to the Boiled Organ Boys and Girls and Thems and Theys. So that's gonna be... I know Ethan really liked Will's intro to one of his videos recently. Or not recently, actually. It was to the Zyx video where he said something awful, and the top comment on that video is Ethan being very upset about what he was called. So now I'm going to open up each video with, "What's up, my boiled organs, boys, girls, thems, theys? Welcome to today's video." Yeah, the Boiled Organ Boys. Boiled Borgin Boys. That's even better. There we go. Saw you did a Canyon review on Will's second channel. I was wondering if you both would maybe want to make a Will Flips vid on the EX10. Will made a video on the EX10? I feel like he may have. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe I'm thinking of Ethan make a video? Did we talk about that anywhere? No, I don't think we have. No, we haven't. Possibly. That would be more of a question for Will than for me. But I'll ask him about it next time I seeing him tomorrow so that we can film the Squiddy WH feature video, which will be a fun one. But I will ask him about that then. Anyway, the Atropos Fortress 2 Spy won my most disappointing award at the beginning of 2023. It flips fine when it works. I've tried like crazy to tune this thing, and it just doesn't want to get a good tune. Like, it's fine, but it's more disappointing than I wanted it to be, and I was going to sell it, and that never happened. But I still need to do that. So I'm gonna put it low C. No. It's above the Bermuda. Don't know if I like it more than the Alien. We'll see if that shifts around. For now, I'll put it above the Alien. Just because the one, I don't like the one with. They are more blatantly cloning stuff than I think they ever have recently, and I don't like that. Hey Brandon, how's the 800-pound albino sentient moose doing? He just graduated from college with a master's degree in underwater basket weaving. So we're very excited for him. He grew new hands. And we think that he's going to be able to stop being albino with a new skin surgery that they invented just for mooses. Meese. A gaggle of moose. So we're really excited for him with that. I would say, what's your offer on the Spy, but IDK? I got it for like 120. I'd sell it for like $100 maybe. But it'd be a whole tuning adventure, that's for sure. But it is kind of a piece of history, so that's where I've gone back and forth on if I actually want to get rid of it or not. You've never been so proud of the albino sentient moose in your life? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of instances where you should be proud of your albino sentient moose, and this is one of them. Fun chucks. Here's a really fun one. I just bursted this out with not even thinking about it. The fun chucks. I have absolutely no fucking idea how I should even remotely try to rank this. And I say that because Ethan, our dear boy, died on a hill that the fun chucks needed its own tier. And I don't disagree with that currently. Trade my Arctic 2 for your Spy if you're willing. No, I don't want an Arctic 2 enough, personally. And with a Pacific on the way. Thank you for the offer. But right now, probably not. I need to decide what I'm going to do with it. And I don't want to decide that on stream right now. But I'll consider it. But the fun chucks. If we can't judge it from a standpoint of, oh, how well does it flip? Because it barely does, but it does do the tricky do. So I really wanted to try to put this somewhere that made sense. It's just so hard to be objective with it. Yes, I have seen your Among Us Spy, Ted. And that was just the next level. And yes, the fun chucks are on bushings. And they're fun. I haven't had to tune it at all. And of course, tap can barely even exist when there's not a blade. I talked to, it was in our Patreon Discord that we were having a voice chat. And the Patreon Discord is great. I'm trying to do more voice chats there. But part of me wants to, because there's no channel with this, right? So part of me wants to try to develop my own blade for it, which would require making a whole new middle piece here. and just make the blade absolutely stupid thin so that it can't interfere with the channel because it's so thin. But I have no idea. Truthfully, in terms of how much I enjoy it, because that is kind of, at the end of the day, is figuring out how much I personally enjoy it. So from a personal enjoyment scale, I think I could comfortably put it in like low B tier. Because it's just so silly. And you can't chaplain it. I mean, you kind of, sort of. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. There it goes. I'm putting it low B. Sue me. Sue me. Ethan just said no earlier, so I'm assuming that's where he's still at with that, which, fair. I'm putting it in low B tier. Oh, we also got, I don't know, people, can you hear this music at all? I got this Zelda playlist going. Is it a little too quiet? Could I boost it a little bit? We got the Zora's Domain music in here, right? Zora's Domain music. Let's get some. Let's get some. Song of Time, baby. Let's do another one for the people since people requested it. There we go. There we go. The ocarina, ladies and gentlemen. We also got oh, that wasn't even coming through. Oh yeah, it does not like that at all. Not one bit. Who knows how that came through. Brandon Baker solo album when? In 1 hour. I'll say nothing more. Here's an exciting one. These should be switched around, actually. Kraken Trainer. No. We'll do this. Let's do this. This is a Kraken V1. The Kraken V1. I think this still is phenomenal. The tune on it is still impeccable after it was fixed up, I think, at Blade Show 2021, I want to say, where Squid was like doing their repairs that they would do, which is incredible. And it still holds up stupid well for a Balisong that released in 2019. And was one of my first real ones. And of course, we have an affiliate code with Squid, so of course, take that with a grain of salt. But separating myself from that, this thing is still absolutely awesome. And for the $250 to $300 price range, there's live blades that are, I would say, a better value than the Kraken live blade is. But I still love this thing. There's so much history to it now. And I almost never lubricate it and never tune it. And it is still just unbelievable. And I love it. Like, it since it's a V1, you don't have some of the texturing or some of the cutouts and stuff that are on the V2.5 and the V3. And the jimping is a little bit less and all that. But I still can't do ladders, so who cares? So it's an easy A, and I like it more than the Cygnus. So I don't think I'm going to get many people arguing with that. This is, of course, a Tonto V1. My V2.5 is a Bowie, and I like it almost just as much, but it feels a little bit more sluggish to me in certain tricks. This is a Blade Show 2 of 5, which is kind of cool. I like it slightly less, but I still like it more than the Cygnus, so that's going second place on the tier list so far, which I don't think really surprised anyone. And have you seen Vavor's Bald Kraken? Yes, I have. That thing's wacky, with the the texturing removed and all that. That thing's wacky. I love that. Vavor is an experience of a person to talk to. Also, wow, this I don't know what's going on with my internet, y'all. I'm sorry that it keeps dipping out like that. Hopefully we're still mostly game. Anyway, the Kraken Trainer V3. Kraken Trainer V3. This is the Ghost Kraken Trainer. I think I don't like it as much as I like the Live Blades. And the balance of it is better than the V2.5 trainer was. I don't flip this that much because I'm terrified to damage it, and which is I likely will end up selling it. If I have a Kraken trainer, it's going to be something that I'm going to want to beat. So this would fall into my I may sell it list, not because I don't like it. It's just not different enough from my other stuff, and I just don't want to beat it. But I do enjoy the flipping experience of the Live Blades more. Not enough to make me... Let me pick up... Let me pick up the Cygnus again. Do I like it more than the Cygnus? They both feel so similar. I don't like the ring on the Kraken Trainer. I have seen that, MCK. I have not tried one, so I would love to try. Why did I get the Ghost one? Mostly because it was mostly an impulse buy. And I didn't know how easily this coating would come off. But after, like, even just looking at, like, the Zen pin area, that's where I saw this is going to get damaged really, really easily, really quickly. And that's going to show very apparently. And it was mostly just, I thought the look of it was so cool. But if I'm not going to flip it, or I'm just going to be scared to flip it, I don't see a ton of point in owning it. So I'm going to say, I'll put it, oh, I almost want to defer to chat on this one. Oh no, but this is mine. I shouldn't let chat influence my opinion. My gut's saying above the Cygnus. No, it's below. It's below. Yeah. Yeah, because of the ring. The ring alone kills it. Krakens are best for learning and consistency. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good question, Charlie. If Squid were to make a Kraken V3.5, what improvements could they make? I don't know. I feel like they've pretty much nailed it. Outside of just changing the balance a little bit, if you really wanted to do that. But you can do that with zippy products now. I almost feel like this is kind of final form Kraken. If they keep iterating on this, because it has a 7075 aluminum. They've done the special editions like the Spiral Kraken. They have a titanium one now, I believe. So I don't know that there's much that you could do other than making it where it's not necessarily an improvement. It's just a new edition of it. The grip is solid. The look is relatively iconic. It's simple enough. I honestly don't know that there's anything major that they could change to make this a 3.5 where they're worthy, or even a V4. The only reason they could do that with like the Squid trainer was because they put the Squid trainer on bushings. In terms of the 3.5 to V4 jump, and the Kraken's already on bushings. And so, like, maybe they can change it to like stainless washers, but I don't think they will. So I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be much change up there. But maybe. You gotta sell products at the end of the day. The marbles. The Nabalis marbles. I'm of course co-creator of the Volp and the Volp Pro. But this product and a lot of their other products compete directly with the Volp and the Volp Pro. We've definitely seen that with the Canyon, which is the Canyon's coming for my wallet, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a great value. But I would say the Marbles is a Volp competitor, and we don't get any money for anything other than Volp sales. I think it's pretty sick. I did experiment with the balance system, which has the literal marbles on the inside of it. And I think that that's cool. We actually were the people that told them to include, or Will and I told them to include like a softer ball so that it can be like squished in there and they're not going to rattle around, because they sent us a prototype of it to give feedback on. The grip on it isn't exceptional. And it is kind of funny. Obviously, it is different, but the blade profile is... It's funny how much flack the Volt Pro Live Blade got for looking somewhat similar to the Cygnus blade. But Nabalis comes out with the marbles with a very, very similar blade profile and a bottle opener in the same position, with mostly the same blade geometry and pretty close to the same Zen nipple. But nobody says a word. Of course, they're the same company, so that's a completely different ballgame. But I was a little squint-eyed when I saw the marbles release. But I think... Where did I put my stuff? There we go. I think the marbles is sick, and I think it's a really cool idea and can teach you very quickly different balance profiles. And I think that has a ton of value because balance is very, very difficult to determine. So I'm thinking I'll put it... What else is in there? This is one of the cheaper ones that I haven't really ranked anywhere, but I'll put it... I don't like it more than the Antarctic. I don't like it more than the BB Firefly. Let's put it right here. I think right there. It's a solid B tier. For $75, I think it's a pretty solid value. Malv has awoken to the bees. Welcome, Malv. Good to see you. Has anyone tried the Hom Ghost? It looks silly to me. We made a YouTube short about the Ghost on the Will Hirsch YouTube channel. If you want to check that out. If you just search Jerry Hom, however you spell it, you'll probably find it if you want some opinions on it. But anyway, the Akuma Matata. An enigma now, because I'm pretty sure Akuma might just be done or taking a long bite blade style siesta. Because their Instagram hasn't been posted on in a long time, like almost a year now. Their website doesn't work. And so I have no idea what is going to happen to Akuma. But this was like $120. The grip on it was okay. Mine had... I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that. But mine has... It just comes loose very quickly. And the blade is kind of like throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks kind of thing. It's just kind of a mishmash of design elements. It flips fine, but not exceptionally. So I'll put it... I can't put it below the Fun Chucks necessarily. Oh no, that's a different tier. I was thinking that was C tier. It's like it's about there for me. Like it flips fine. There's not anything absolutely terrible about it. It does most tricks fine. But I'm grateful they sent this to me for free. Never made a video on it or anything like that. I gave them feedback on it. But who knows where that's going to go. Catch up on chant. From working with Nabalis, the main reason for them completely changing my weight system was my weight system was... Oh, yes, yeah. Was that the weight system was that on the marbles, weights unused by most people apart from the first setup. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's cool, but it is definitely... They have to send a lot of stuff to make that customizable. And I can see that honestly eating into the profit quite a bit. Especially since some of those weights are tungsten. And tungsten weights are not very cheap. Fun Chucks is a B tier? Yeah! I refuse to put it in Fun Chucks tier like the previous stream. I'm putting it in B tier. Based on how much I enjoy it, I enjoy flipping the Fun Chucks more than the Bermuda, more than the Alien, more than the Spy, and more than the Matata. Don't at me. I feel like it's so non-standard it doesn't have a place anywhere. That's absolutely true, and that's why we put it in the Fun Chucks tier. But I said I was gonna rank everything as objectively as I could, and that's as objective as I can be. In reality, it probably belongs in D tier from a pure flipping standpoint, but based on how much I enjoy it, there it is. Now, one of my favorites of all time. The Fellowship Blades Medusa. Fun fact, this is my cheese knife. I will often get, like, intoxicated with either beer, or some kind of, like, gum with a block of cheese and just shave it off. And I actually fell in love with it even more after I came back from my month-long New Zealand trip, which I almost did a stream about the month-long New Zealand trip and just took people through that, but it's been taking an average of like 4 to 5 hours to talk about that whole trip with people, and it's just a lot. And I missed this thing, and coming back to it, it's just super solid to me. The blade is just gorgeous. The anodization by Solar Flare is beautiful. And it is an absolute easy S tier for me. And I'm going to say is, honestly, I think I like it more than the Kraken V2.5. I might even like it more than the V1 Kraken. But that I would have to really spend some more extensive time flipping it. But I think it is phenomenal. I'm bummed that the price increased by like $200+ for Medusas. Obviously, you gotta make money at the end of the day. And Grant, I know he's doing things as ethically as he can, but I'm bummed that it is such a huge leap over what it was, like $500 to $550, and now it starts at $750, I believe. And this is a V2. It's now on the V3. Chunky just said that the V1 Medusa is better than the V2. I don't know if I actually flipped a V1 Medusa. But these are sent to me for free, which is still absolutely wild to me that I can even say that. And I think it is just absolutely lovely, and I am so glad to be able to own it. One that I am less enthralled about owning is the Bally Shark Mermaid. Aluminum. It was like $50. I don't even know. It doesn't even seem like Bally Shark's really doing anything anymore. And it just the handles are weird. We did sort of an updated version of it. We unboxed an updated version of it in one of the unboxing videos, and it was better, but I wouldn't even say it's better than this. They made improvements to it. This is a V1 Mermaid, but it's very meh. I'm gonna put it just above the Alien. No, it's below the Alien. Better than a Bermuda. The grip is fine, but the comb barely works. The bottle opener didn't work. So yeah, I'd say it deserves C tier. Now the Nabalis Morse, which is a really fun one. This was one of the ones that made us be like, oh wow, Nabalis can actually make some pretty dope stuff. And it has a pretty good grip to it. They've made some changes to it in the most updated version of it. Like notably, they added some jimping to the sides and all that. It's still by no means like absolutely incredible. But in certain ways, I would even argue that this has better grip than the Volp, and is maybe even a little more standard than the Volp. How does this chaplain, though? I haven't chaplained this in a long time. Okay. That's a Volp-esque chaplain. But it's really solid. For like 50, 60 bucks, I'd still, like, it's good enough. In my opinion, if that was my first Balisong, I would have been fine with that. So let's throw it. I don't like it more than the marbles. Let's throw it like right there. I don't know if See, the 3D printed stuff always, that should really probably be just a separate list, but this is the best I can do for right now. So Yeah, because the marbles is a pretty similar flipping experience in terms of the feel in the hand and everything. So those are pretty close to each other. All right. Barracuda is pretty lonely in A tier up there. Yes, there's actually, I don't know how many things are going to end up in A tier. I may end up pushing the Antarctic to A tier, but so I guess to be clear, the actual tiers themselves aren't going to play a factor in the list that I end up making. There's not going to be different tiers of knives. This is mostly just to give myself some kind of landing point in terms of how I can rank things. But that may end up being an A tier. But there will be... Yeah, there's going to be stuff that ends up in A tier, for sure. Very shortly. But the Nautilus V1, which I still pick this thing up. Mine has glider, actually prototype glider scales on it. But it still flips very similarly to the regular scales. And I still love this thing, man. I come back to it. It feels like home to me. Just because it was the first review I did on this channel, so I have some bias in that regard. And we have our affiliate code with Squid Industries and our product with Squid Industries. So of course, feel free to take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I think the design of it still holds up really well. The blade works great. Or it just has a very stylistic look to it. The Chaplain experience is comfortable. The handle gap is getting smaller these days. But it is over 3 years old now. But that has partially started to become a concern for me. But not enough. Like, it's still completely fine. For right now, a lot of people were very, very upset in the... not a lot of people, but there were people that were upset with Ethan and I for putting the Nautilus above the Cygnus. So that's where I'm still in a pickle here. Because in a lot of ways, I still enjoy the way the Cygnus, or the Nautilus, flips more. Ugh. Like, let me go back and forth here. I just sit in silence here and really take it all in. Oh, the Cygnus Chaplain's good. Yep. I've officially landed right here. I think the Cygnus is better. Yeah. You know what I don't think it's better than? The Nautilus V2. This is because the zippy inserts on this. And the fact that this is 7075 aluminum instead of 6061 aluminum on the Nautilus V1. And it gives it... Oh my god, what have I done? Oh, wow. Ooh, there. Oh, we're back. There we go. Just gives it... Yeah, I feel that now. It just carries momentum a little bit better. And it feels a little bit more solid in the hand. So yeah, I stand by. I personally enjoy the Nautilus V2 with zippy inserts in the blade more than the Cygnus. Yeah. But, I mean, they're both right next to each other in S tier. So what do you want from me? Those are so... Like, it's not even worth breaking down, like we're talking... Like, if you were to give it a score out of 100, we're talking a 99 versus, like, a 99.2. So, can you really complain? Anyway. Nautilus V2 going back in. Nautilus V1 going back in. Let's catch up on chat. Do modders do bigger tang pins for the knot? I don't know, honestly. I think the knot has issues. Kumi, you have issues with like every single Squid Industries product. And I'm so sorry because I don't understand how that keeps happening. But raw flipping, it feels better than a SIG. Okay, so somebody agrees. The Nautilus, especially with glider coast scales, nice and grippy. Yes, the glider coast scales do help a lot. I definitely recommend those. Betrayal. Love the Nautilus V2. Okay, we got some Nautilus enjoyers in here. Got to get one engraved so I can't sell it. Yeah, my Nautilus V1 actually has... It's dangerous to go alone. Take this on the inside of the handles, which is a Zelda reference. And then I believe... Does this have an engraving on it? No, this doesn't have any customized stuff. But it has the glider scales. And I love customization. That puts it a tier above. I can mod the Cygnus, but only by dyeing things. I haven't seen any alternate like Cygnus scales available, except the carbon fiber ones, but not like for sale separately. I mean, lots of people had knots that can't keep tunes, and also there's cases of the knot handles cracking from the tank pins. Yeah, I don't deny that the Nautilus has problems. Both of mine have weirdly avoided most of those problems, which is pretty funny. Anyway, what's next? The original Squiddy. Why do I have it there? Did I skip one? How did it? Oh, okay, no, so we're not actually doing the original Squiddy. I forgot this got all kind of confused. Why is the Cycloid HD here twice? Did I put it back? It got moved? When did that happen? Where did I rank this? It was between these. I don't know how that moved. Anyway, the original Squiddy should be with the other Squiddies, but it's because I put original in there and that messes with the alphabetical order. Anyway, the Orion. Where is it? Okay. Here, this is an Orion V1 with a live blade. And it has like the Cerakote coating on it. They sent this for free. And I think the Orion V1... Wait, where's the... What? Where's my... What? There's not an Orion... I made a graphic for the Orion V2. Did I forget to put it in there? I absolutely did. Shoot. Can I add? Can I choose additional images? Can I add this? Please don't fuck this. Please don't fuck up the list. Where's my Orion V2? Huh? Huh? Oh, I just had Orion. Is that there? Am I blind as a bat? Okay, no, it wasn't in there. Okay, the Orion. That's the V1.5. So this is an Orion V1. Sorry, bear with me. No, yeah, there is just the Orion 1.5 and the V1. Apologies for the confusion there. The V1 has worse grip, but it is still a fantastic flipper, and was a great value, and I enjoy it a lot. So much so that it will be our second... We back up. There we go. It is going to be our second A tier. And I like it. I do like it less than the Barracuda. But I think it's great. What I don't like less than the Barracuda is the Orion V1.5. And I think it's fantastic. And is another Volp competitor for sure. But they just crushed it with it. Both the live blade and the trainer flip awesome. And I think LDY is doing a fantastic job. So I'm going to put it above the Barracuda in A tier. So there we go. We finally are populating the A tier once again. Ooh. Yeah, it has really good momentum. And for like, I think it goes for like $75. and almost breaks my cup on my table. Like, yeah, I'm just full on impressed. It's got that nice and light movement to it. This is still one I'd like to do something in my more kind of chill video format on. So I don't know if we're going to have time to do like a full-blown giant review of it. Have you tried the comb blade? I have not tried the comb blade. And I really want to try the comb blade. But I don't think it's compatible. Maybe it's... Someone correct me in chat. I don't know if there's a comb blade for the 1.5, but maybe there is. But I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. LDY is a great addition to this community. And I'm looking around now. Oh, it's right there. Okay. No, yeah, that's right. These need to be moved around. Prisma V1, Prisma V1 Live Blade, then Prisma Pro. Okay. Rest in peace to the Prisma. For those that don't know, the Prisma and Prisma Pro and the Slift Tees are discontinued now by MachineWise, and they discontinued them in kind of an anticlimactic way. They're still technically going to be available as of this moment for a little bit, but having this for as low as like $140 from an American maker was a steal. And they have their the Sasori and the Totori coming out, and we're just gonna have to see with those. But I don't imagine that essentially the replacement for the Prisma Pro and the Prisma is going to be as good of a value as this was. I'd be surprised if that ends up going for less than $200 for just the trainer. I still love this. This is one of my favorite reviews I've ever produced. It's not... Oh, do we have a... Oh, hi. What's up?
I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, you're going to bed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna get ready.
I'll try. I am like halfway there. There we go. This is Adriana. She's lovely. Anyway, I love you so much. I'll come in whenever I can.
Okay.
Moi moi.
Moi.
Okay. Is there a review of the Totori and Sasori coming from you and Will? Not at the moment. We have not been sent one. We have not been in discussions to be sent one. I've actually tried to communicate with MachineWise and haven't gotten any replies from anything yet. So I would assume yes. I don't know if it'll be a full review or my kind of video. There will probably definitely be a Will Hirsch Flips about them. But I would definitely expect one of those to come, especially because it's a representation of killing half their product line and all their best value stuff. So I would say yes, but right now I can't confirm. But I would like to for sure. But the Prisma V1 I think is very much an A tier, and I like it more than the Orion. Even with kind of how weird it is, I just like channel aluminum, and the weirdness of this has kind of gone away with time that I felt if you go back and watch my original review. I think the Prisma discontinuing was a decision of all time. Absolutely. That is the best way to describe it, is it is a decision of all time. I think it's great. And I will forever be a Prisma simp. Speaking of being a Prisma simp, my Prisma Live Blade is now quite a relic now. So it was one of the initial productions. So on the inside, you're not going to be able to see it well on camera, but it has this machining on the inside that wasn't in the later versions of the Prismas. Because it's still kind of sort of a prototype. And this is a Marin blade. Because I was supposed to get a Marin from MachineWise, but the last drop of them got scrapped because the anodization got screwed up. And so this is just, like, in 10 years, this is going to be a relic of a bygone era. For sure. And in a lot of ways, I think it flips better than the Live Blade, than the trainer. It's still pretty much razor sharp. Do I have a piece of paper? Let's see how sharp this thing is. Oh, my table's in the... Oh, no, we got it. Here we go. Let's see how sharp this... I don't actually know how sharp this thing still is. I've had this for Almost 2 years. No. It's not Razor. It gets that first cut, sort of. Okay, yeah, it kind of cuts if you gas it a bit. But I think it flips better because the weight is a little bit more distributed to my liking than the trainer. So I'm going to put it above it. It is top of A tier. Maybe even... No, it's not. It's not S tier, but high A tier for sure. I kind of feel like playing some Wii Punch-Out. That's good. Do that. God, I'm still loving this music to jam out to. Anyway, I'm a huge Zelda nerd, as you can fucking see. Okay, now, another relic of a bygone era now. This has some zippy inserts. God, so, here's a quick tangent. Ethan and I did our Prisma Pro review in August of last year. 8 months later, the Prisma isn't going to exist. So you'll still be able to get them on the secondhand market. But that review is now significantly less relevant than it was before. And I feel for Zippy too. Because with our reviews, it's tough because we will review something and either it will get discontinued really quickly afterward, or like in the case of like the Serpent Striker V3, it was essentially already fully sold out and will never be made again. A bunch of our reviews just aren't relevant anymore in terms of stuff you can actually buy. And I feel for Zippy in that regard because he has to make these products and create inventory. And then stuff just gets discontinued. But I guess he's doing fine because I think he just recently released a new mod for the Serpent Striker V3. So either there's a market for that or he's just putting stuff out. Like he's just putting out whatever he feels like. So good on you, Zippy, for doing that. But just kind of sucks. And that's partially why I want to do this easier format where, you know, because normally our production process is usually, you know, a couple weeks of flipping, and then usually a day or two of writing the script. Like if it's something Will's scripting, a day or two to write the script, and then I come in and I'll either do my section or I make a bunch of revisions to it. Takes usually 3 to 5 hours to do the shooting of like just the interview section of the review. And then usually sometimes up to an hour or more to do just the BS score. And that, of course, is very tightly scripted, and it takes us a lot of times and a lot of attempts to do our gags and stuff. And then the editing process in terms of work time, that's usually 2 to 3 days on the low end. And then the thumbnails usually 2 to 3 hours. Then the distribution is 2 to 3 hours. So my goal with the smaller format reviews that I want to do is ultimately try to be able to write, shoot, and edit within 2 days. So like 2 8 to 10 hour days, be able to fully produce that review with like at least a week of like flipping time to gather the thoughts on it. But that's just going to put a lot less pressure. And there will be like jokes and stuff, but not where it's constant visual effect gags and crazy B-roll segments and all that. Just because we love doing it. That format isn't going to go away. But it's just a lot to put together every single time that we want to talk about something. Especially when that all falls to me. Because when it's me reviewing something, I'm doing every stage of the process. Producing, writing, shooting, editing, thumbnails, distribution. Will has to shoot the flipping B-roll. And Will just isn't a camera operator, so it's kind of an adjustment for him. And then I'm not amazing at flipping, and so he's trying to do all these fancy camera moves, and I can barely even consistently do like a long combo. So that just makes things more stressful to do. But instead of putting like 2 weeks of work into a review and then have it be irrelevant 3 months later, putting 2 days versus 2 weeks seems a lot more manageable. And they'll still be fun. I get to shoot B-roll, which is what I love to do. I still get to host stuff and be me. But that's kind of the goal with that. Anyway.
Holy shit!
Yeah, well, we got a subscriber. Thanks for the subscription, Lucas. Is that Lucas? Lucas T. Lucas T. Who's a Lucas T? Anyway, thanks, Lucas T. Being a Balisong reviewer is making a review and then it immediately becomes obsolete. Yeah, that's just the nature of this and is the nature of the Prisma Pro. But I think the Prisma Pro is absolutely wonderful. And I think I like it more than my Nautilus V1. I don't think I like it more than the Cygnus, though. And I don't think I like it more than my Nautilus V2. Personally speaking. Lucas Tao, president of Octopus Industry. Octopus Factory Butter Knife Fly? Boy, will we get there. Subscriber, I heard... who are some flippers you like to watch? I will answer that once I actually rank another Balisong. Or as I grab it. Some flippers I watch. I love watching Andre flip. I love watching Jelly flip. I love Red Edge a lot. Those are probably my top 3. Anyway, now it's time for... I don't know where my Serif is. One moment. Oh, it was hiding back there. Anyway, Serif. Thank God this is sticking around. My God. Thank Christ. All that is holy. Thank everything I've ever known that the Serif is sticking around. Even if it's just going to be an enigma in their lineup for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets fully replaced down the line. But this is now the only commercially available remnant once the Prismas go away and the Slif T goes away of the Marin platform, sort of, but this isn't even on the Marin platform. The updated ones are, but this one isn't. But this is my special one with a Cerakote blade. And I believe Cerakote handles, and Will got this for me at Blade Show 2022. I believe it was Blade Show 2022, which I'm still floored that he paid for this. And it's an easy S tier. As Ted said, it's straight to S tier. But the question is, where in S tier? It has the modular weight system at the bottom here. I haven't adjusted it in years at this point. But it still has one of the best sounds of anything I've ever tried. Oh, there goes my light. My light died. If only I was literally prepared. Oh no, the light died. Whatever will I do? However will I solve this epic conundrum? 2 lights, magnetic, onto the lamp. Just gotta lower the brightness. I'm a god. There we go. Videography, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I think it deserves exactly what Ted said. Bada bing, bada boom. We got a number 1. Again. How does that feel? Anyone disagree? Sound off in the comments. If you disagree that a Serif belongs at the top of this list. And if you disagree, nothing will happen to you. For now. Oh, the Opus is... Yes, so the Opus is also technically staying. But I don't know how in an official capacity that'll be. Because I don't even remember the last time they dropped the Opus. Is there a discount code for Nabalis? I don't think so. It depends on when you're buying them. You can get blemished stuff from them for pretty cheap. And their blems are still in pretty good condition. But yeah, Serif is straight S tier. It's got the grip, it's got the flare, in the simple kind of elegance. The texturing on it is phenomenal. The chaplain experience is great. It's got the modular weight system. It's just top tier Balisong. And it deserves to stay. Martine refuses to let the opus die. Yeah, and Martine is absolutely cannot wait to eat. I can't wait to eat Martine. Someone sent just the clip of me saying, Martine, I can't wait to eat you. Send that to him. No, I cannot wait to meet Martine. I think that's going to be so much fun, and is one of the reasons I'm actually kind of concerned for Blade Show. Because historically, there's been like 8 to 10 people I'm really excited to personally hang out with at Blade Show. And we end up in a small little group and we do everything together. There's now like 30 of those people. And I have no idea how I'm going to keep up. But Martine is one of those people, and I really hope he goes to Blade Show East. He may not, but I hope that he does. Anyway, Serpent Striker V3. I've gone back to the live blade on my Serpent Striker V3 because I had tuning issues with the trainer blade. But I think this thing is lovely. This is one that I did a whole modding video about. It's kind of similar to my custom Volt Pro in terms of the purple and red color scheme and kind of how I had it transition between those. The Serpent Striker is amazing, and if they were actively producing these, I think it would be one of the best-selling Balisongs on the market, especially for its retail price of $150. And you get a great unboxing experience, you get a trainer blade, and the live blade. One of the best values. If Max Ace would release more than one batch of these, they would be absolutely killing it, but they don't. So who knows what the Serpent Striker V4 is going to be. But for me, I'm going to put it into S tier somewhere, I do declare. I think I have a lot in S tier, though. Given I blew through a lot of the S tiers relatively early on. We'll get there. I'm going to put it... I'm going to put it top of A for now. Very good. Lovely. Grip is great. I wish the screws were a little bit more adjustable. The zippy spacers I have at the bottom are awesome. So this is modded, but even just the stock experience is lovely. So I'm going to put it at the top of A. Right after the Not V1. Oh, you think it should go higher? Do I like it more than the Kraken V3 Trainer? I don't think I like it more than the Kraken V3. No. No. Just a little too... Serif is incredible in the air. One of the best knives for aerials, without a doubt. No weights in is by far the best setup. Yes, I have no weights in my Serif, and I greatly prefer that. Do we think a Blade Show closer to New York is possible? Because then I would go without hesitation. I don't know, because in the Northeast, blade laws are a lot trickier. Like, just knife laws are a lot trickier. There's a reason that Blade Show is in Utah, Georgia, and Texas, because they don't have very strict knife laws there. So maybe that'd be cool. I know Ethan would be down for that, absolutely. Ted, I would love to meet you. Just let the record show. I don't blame you for not wanting to drive 40 hours. And I do intend to go to Blade West this year, but just know you are one of the people I am most excited to meet. Because you are just seem like such a nice person. And we need more nice people in this world, especially with how crazy the Balisong community can get. In a lot of ways. Yeah, it's 1K just for the fly. Oh, I get it. Especially from the state you live in. I'm sure that's not easy at all. So no shame, but just know if that ever comes up, let's hang out. Anyway, the Squiddy PDP. Nope. The original Squiddy. What am I doing? Hold on. I'm sorry. I love Zelda music. That's one of the best bangers in the history of everything Zelda. The Squiddy, where to go? Mine can barely be flipped. Let's. Oh. If that's any indication, let's get nice and personal here. Let's bring the light in. Mine has cracks. Oh god, let's make the exposure a little less intense. Mine has cracks everywhere around the Zen pin area, and that makes things makes it not great. So I can't flip this anymore in any meaningful way, which bums me out because this is my first real, but the very first Balisong I purchased. And I didn't even like drop it a lot. It just kind of happened over time. The way they did the original ones, because this is a 2018 Squiddy. The way they did the pins, they were just more prone to cracking. And there's a reason all the cracks are around just the Zen pin area. But the original Squiddy, I don't dislike it the way some people do. But I would say the Squiddy B, the PDP, the WH is far and away much better. And I think most of the 3D printed stuff is much better. So I'm going to put it... What did Ted, you are spot on today. Cycloid V1 should be C if OG Squid is D. In my opinion, they're both kind of D. Because I don't like I like the Cycloid V1 less. Oh man. People gonna flame me for putting it in the bottom of C tier? Does yours still have the sticker? Yes. It's very, very... Oh. There we go. It's very faded. But the sticker is right there. So yeah, it's a relic of a bygone era. I'm gonna put it in C. Does that piss people off? What would you rate the ultralight? I have one, and personally, I have never flipped an ultralight. I've never touched an ultralight. I've touched very few NRB products, actually. Flipped the Koenig V1 and 2. No, and the Nemesis. I guess I flipped Ethan's Nemesis. But not much else in NRB land in that regard. So unfortunately, I cannot. What happened to F tier? I didn't put one just because I don't really own anything that belongs in F tier that I've ranked yet. Anyway. We'll get there. But yeah, I'm going to put the Squiddy in low C. In certain ways, I like... No, this is my list. People, this is so subjective. I shouldn't let the opinions of the people affect my personal ranking. I like the Squiddy more than the Mermaid. I like it more than the Alien. I don't like it more than the Fortress 2 Spy. That's how we're going to do it. Yeah, this is my fucking list. Yeah, Adriana yelled from, I think, the bathroom. Anyway, the Squiddy PDP. Still one of the biggest enigmas in the history of the Balisong hobby. A collaboration with PewDiePie that was never announced in any meaningful way. And that's kind of insane. It was $100, which is kind of wacky. and I think it's fine. It's a Squiddy B. I like it more than the original Squiddy. I think it's better than the Fun Chucks. Cool. There we go. It's a Squiddy B / Squiddy U. And that's where we're going to leave that. But now, for a fun new one. The Squiddy WH. Now here's a fun thing that I don't think has been publicly revealed. But it will most likely be revealed in... I think... We're shooting the video tomorrow, and I think Will finish up... Right, I think he finished the script while I was doing this stream. But I actually had an extensive hand in designing the handles on the Squiddy WH. Will threw a couple of design ideas at me, and I was the one that was like, because he was talking about how he wants to pull some design elements from the blade onto the trainer, and so these lines here were my idea, and making the these cutouts the same shape as that little arrow that's on the top. So this is the first product that we've done that is very much a design collaboration between Will and I, versus just being Will designed it and I gave some feedback. Like, I was the one that sent him a mock-up of this design based on a mock-up that he had done, and he refined it from there, and it makes it one of the... I do think the missing single jimping is strange, since the O-ring deforming happens on all the Squiddies with it. Yes, and we did changed it. And I think this is actually... Yeah, this one that I have with me is actually is a version that doesn't have that. This is the slightly older version of it. But no, is it? Am I having a stroke? No, yeah. But it's a Squiddy B with better grip, ultimately. No, it's not your Wi-Fi that's unhappy. It's my it's my thing that keeps dipping in and out. But I like the sound of it the best. Oh, did my whole stream crash? Oh, no, we're back. It's just dipping in and out. I'm so sorry. But it feels one of the more solid. And Squid had to actually, like, redo their whole design, or not design, like, manufacturing process just for this. Delrin is, and I think it's awesome. I love the blade that Will ended up designing with the paw. I think it's cool. But it's a Squiddy B with better grip. And the Squiddy PDP is basically that. So I'm gonna put it there. Lowish B. I don't think anyone's gonna crucify me for that. But I enjoy it, like genuinely. I think the grip is better. This is the kind of thing that I'd be a little afraid to damage, but thankfully, because it's not a coating in terms of the color like the PDP was, if it gets damaged, it's just going to show more orange versus showing a different color. So, okay, no, I think everyone's dying there. I think my internet's just having a stroke. But I enjoy it. So, and if anyone's gotten it, thanks for the support. We appreciate it. Now, the Squiddy AL. This is another one that I brought with me to New Zealand. And it has held up phenomenally. It doesn't have a great chaplain experience. It does it. Like, currently, it's fine. But if you really try to gas it, it doesn't really agree with you. But I think it's great. I love that it doesn't look threatening in any way. I was able to travel across the world with this thing without virtually any trouble whatsoever. And I love the way that it reflects light. I love the kind of just the raw aluminum nature of it. And it's Squid's most affordable metal trainer. And in certain ways, I enjoy it more than the Mako. I think it's arguably a better value than the Mako, especially with the difference in the texturing and the grip. So, this one's a tough one. It's going to end up in B. I think right here. Here. Yeah. Yeah, because the marbles is a little... The marbles is a little too slippery for my tastes. And this has also sort of an adjustable balance, but it does very little, in my opinion. At least to my feel. Owl's fine, decent for the price, and has good grip. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a comfortable B tier for me. I think it's solid. The Chaplain experience does... Why does it keep flying out of my hand? Does it have worse grip than I thought it did? I don't think it does. I think I'm just being a little loosey-goosey with it. Yeah, I like it more than the marbles and the morphs. Yeah, I'm sticking by that. Hi, Brandon. A Brandon clone. There we go. I'm still surprised that the owl's tolerance is barely even... Yeah, mine, I've dropped it a lot in New Zealand. And I've dropped it a lot in general. And it is still... Obviously, they Loctite the ever-living shit out of these. But I think it's very solid. And it has held up great in terms of tolerances. So there's that. Okay. I actually talk about this one in my Zyx video, my upcoming video on the AcidWorks Zyx. The aluminum is 6061 on the Squiddy AL, and it's 6061 on this. I escaped from you and I'm living my own life. You know what? That's great. I do have unfortunate news. The Wranglers should arrive shortly because you may not know it, but there is some very, very, very classified information in your little noggin of yours, so enjoy your freedom while you have it. Anyway, the Squid Trainer V3.5. I think it flips pretty great. I hate the ring. I really don't like the ring on this thing. It just feels kind of tinnitus-y. Tinnitus-y's nuts. But the grip is good. It's not the most amazing value, or wasn't the most amazing value. The Squid Trainer V4 is a much better value. But as a whole, I think it's pretty great. It's not A tier. From a value standpoint, it's not A tier. And I don't think... I'm going to put it right... I'm going to put it right above the BB Firefly. Because it's a pretty consistent guy. And the grip is better than on the Firefly. I just don't like the ring. But it's held up well in terms of... Like it has a little bit of tap, but not anything that's going to bother me. So yeah, that feels good to me. The Squid Trainer V4 is a significant jump in quality to me, and I actually very much enjoy the sound on this, which I believe is due to the bushings in this, because the Squid Trainer was just washers in terms of the pivot system. And this is a huge step up, despite being pretty much the same thing. It feels more grippy to me too, which is interesting. Even to this day, I think they changed something a little, like a little bit on it. I wish it was 7075 aluminum, but that would change how it flips a fair amount, I would say. But with the sound and how grippy it is, it's still a little heavy, but I think I'm going to put it above the Antarctic. Don't think it's quite A tier, in my opinion. Let me look at the other A tier stuff. Barracuda, Orion, Prisma V1. Yeah, B tier. Yeah. Squid being at 4.4 is a little over what I thought I'd like, but I love it. Yeah. Squid Trainer V4 is better than the Prisma Pro. Okay. seeing a lot of Squid Trainer love here. That's good. It's one of the few knives I can flip outside. It stays grippy when my hands are sweaty. Yeah, this is one of the best grips of an aluminum balisong like ever. So yeah, I think it's great. The Swordfish. The Squid Industry Swordfish. This is a wacky little dude. I have the red, the black and red here. With a custom engraving, it says not SHAP right here, which you're not really going to be able to see. The grip on it is not amazing. The flipping is a little weird, and it has the adjustable weight system at the bottom, but they Loctite red their screws, so it's a little bit of a bitch to adjust. It's the same price as the Squid Trainer as well. I think the Squid Trainer is a slightly better flipper, but this resonates with me a little bit just because it's a little bit lighter. The Chaplain experience is relatively uncomfortable. Yeah, they could have done a little bit more to... Yeah, that's a pretty... Not sharp edge, but not as rounded as it could be in the Chaplain department. And it's all aluminum. It's held up fine for me. I don't flip it all the time, but it's held up fine. So... When I got the Swordfish from Squid, there was so much Loctite, the handle was fused together. Yeah, I believe that. Brandon, I got a knot like a year ago and it came with tap and blade rub. What do? I would just send it back to Squid. Those are just kind of an enigma. I've never had that issue on either of my Nautiluses, and I feel bad about that because a lot of people have had that issue. But the Swordfish, God, this is hard to rank amidst everything else that's here. Do I like it more than the 3.5? I think I do. So this is still going to end up being relatively high B tier for me, because it is. Squid has their where you can do like custom, like made to order stuff and all that, which is cool. I still wish they would capitalize on the fact that this is Chandwich, so you could have different colored sides of each handle, but I haven't really seen them. I don't think they've capitalized on that almost at all. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty high B tier. I think if it was like 10-15 bucks cheaper, it would be a steal. Because they don't have anything in that like 100 that's like exactly like 150 kind of thing. But inflation has technically made a lot of their products a lot cheaper recently. Sort of. That's not really how inflation works, but when you look at how inflation has reduced the value of all of our money, technically it's like 10% cheaper. But that's an American problem. No, it's going on throughout the whole world. Sam made it. Welcome, Sam. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, that's where that's going to stay. I'm going to take some time afterward to kind of reflect on this list again. So some of this may change from the final thing. But thank you everybody for sitting here with me. Swordfish is under their Bermuda for you. That's an interesting take, Ted. What do I think of karambits? I think they're cool, and I would never buy one. Not because they're bad. I would never use it for anything, and I wouldn't play with it. The Tay Flipper. The original Tay Flipper. Another relic of a bygone era. And disclosure again, don't buy anything from Tay as of April 18th, because he, from what I understand, isn't really responding to orders and hasn't made any updates to it. I think the Tay Flipper is one of my favorite 3D printed balisongs ever. But where does it stack up against all this other plastic stuff? I think, ultimately, now that I've spent more time with it, I like it less than the Edit, but more than the Cycloid HD. It's just got this, like, it does feel kind of cheap. My girlfriend infamously said that the Tay Flipper felt like a toy for a 3 or 4-year-old child, which I don't entirely disagree with, but it just has this unique flair to it. And a really unique construction as well, and Tay went kind of balls to the wall in customizing mine. He sent this for free. But it just feels very evenly distributed across the board. And I like that aspect of it a lot. The Bite Blades Titan, another enigma in the Balisong world. Tay's really in the danger zone with what's been going on. I'm shocked no one's called him out yet. I agree, and the fact that his orders are still open with what's going on, I'm actually probably next week going to send him a direct message and be like, hey, I would like to know what's happening. I want to be able to recommend your stuff, but I cannot in good faith right now. And if there's not any updates on this, I will probably say something publicly, because that's not very cool. But if there is an update, great. But it's definitely changed my opinion on a few things. But the most part. But even though a lot of it's been hearsay, it's still not cool that there haven't been any updates in that regard. But the Bite Blades Titan, another one that disappeared right as Will and I put a huge spotlight on everything that Bite Blades was doing. He vanished to go to school and then came back inexplicably to do one drop and now might be gone again. This thing has grown on me in the time that I've had it. I'm really glad we didn't do a full review of it like we were going to, because Bite Blades vanished the way that he did. But this has a really unique construction, very long handles, this unique spacer system here at the bottom that make it a long boy. Here it is compared to a swordfish. Oh my god, the swordfish is longer. The handles are long. Are they? Yes, the handles are long. Cool. But I think it's great. The value of it is subjective. I don't know exactly who made it. I believe he made them. And I'm bummed because he was doing like aluminum fade anodizations, which are really hard to do. My camera died. If only I had a solution to this, like having a spare battery that I have to go and grab. Oh my god. I have the spare battery. Are we back? We're back. Ah, there we go. Filmmaking, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We got that focus back. Beautiful. We're back in action. Thank God for swappable batteries. Anyway. Oh, this is getting a little... I'm going to have to make this smaller. There we go. Fortunately, it goes beyond being a small or big company when people have given him their money and allegedly heard nothing for months. Yeah, and that's a big problem, and that sucks. But the Titan, I think, is pretty sick. It has pretty good grip. It's a little wonky in terms of the balance, but it doesn't like perform poorly in any trick I've thrown at it. It's relatively light. It's got some like MachineWise, or I guess ripped to the MachineWise handle length that he's been known for, or they've been known for a long time. But I think it's great, and I'm gonna put it. Question. Do I like it more than the Squid Trainer V4? No. Do I like it more than the Antarctic? Yes. High B. High B. I have a lot of B tier stuff. And there's still quite a bit of B tier stuff to go. Or A tier. But again, none of this is going to end up actually being in a tiered list in the final thing that I end up doing. What is the balance on the... That's a tough one. I feel like with this blade, it's decently handle bias. Oh, did I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's decently handle bias for the Titan. What's your favorite butterfly knife from Will's collection? You are asking a question that involves me to think about 70 plus different balisongs. The first one that came to my mind was the Invictus, but that's not it. I have no idea. I could do a whole stream just based on that. But as I currently have 50 plus to go through, I'll rain check in that regard. Will you share this tier list in Will's server for those who are interested but couldn't make it? Oh yeah, the whole point in me doing this stream is that this will be kind of like the BS score list. This is going to be an actively available list where you can come and see what is in my collection and what I personally rank all of my balisongs. So instead of, like whenever I do reviews, instead of, I like it more than this, but less than this, and I think this is a better value than blank, blah, 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 you can just say, here's my list. Here's how it's ranked. Go check that out. You can see how I compare it to all this other stuff. So that's the whole point of this, is for it to just be an easily accessible list that people can look at. And yes, I will be updating it as I go, the best I can. Anytime I review something, I'll add it to this list, and I'll reference the list each time I do one of my more chill reviews in my new style that I want to go for. Triton V2. I actually tried to tune this the other day, and I just can't get the handle swing to be what it used to be. But as a whole, I don't dislike it the way that some people do. I know Ethan had a pretty strong distaste for the Triton V2. I think it's fine for what it is. By no means the best value in the current market, but I think the grip is fine. The line down the middle adds a pretty decent amount. It's kind of like a Squid Trainer light is kind of how it feels to me. So for me, I'm gonna put it in... I'm gonna put it between the marbles and the Morse, I think. Yeah. It's on washers, but that doesn't really change the flipping of it that much. But yeah, we'll put that. Yet another in B tier. Oh boy, I didn't realize we were here. Here's a fun one. Here is a fun one. Triton, my despised. I think I'd rather get a Mako than a Triton. Yeah, I would pick a Mako over a Triton these days. The Nabalis Volt. Dearly beloved. Where in God's green earth is this going to end up? So, again, me trying to be as objective as possible. I don't dislike the Volp in the way that some people do. And this is me trying to be as objective as I possibly can. I don't dislike it in the way that a lot of people do. Ethan, you actually made, it was when you did your like Nabalis like makers map video, which is a great new series that I definitely am excited for you to keep doing as that continues along. But I've seen your opinion of it shift lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. Like almost on like a monthly basis, I've seen you grow more and more and more and more and more and more distasteful of the Volp, to the point that I personally feel like you would maybe put it in D tier these days. Correct me if I'm wrong. I still appreciate the grip area on the Volp. But I am at a point that I want to do a new version of the Volp that corrects a lot of, or not corrects, but just improves things, changes up the trainer blade a bit to make certain tricks a little bit better. I'd love to add some kind of grip here. I'd love to give it a new finish, like if it was a shiny finish instead of a bead blast finish. I think that would be better, but it's just tough in terms of pricing. I don't know how much we'll be able to add to it and change without increasing the price, and in a world where the Canyon exists for $40 and is now most people's default recommendation. It just has to change to be able to compete. So Will and I we've had a discussion about ways that we would change it, but I don't know if that's a Volp V3 technically. I don't know if that's a Volp Lite. I don't know if that's a complete just brand new product and we ditch the Volp as a whole. I don't know what direction that'll go in, but I still genuinely enjoy flipping it. I don't think the Chaplain experience is abysmal like some people say. I think Chaplain's fine. It carries momentum relatively well. There is too much pivot weight to it for sure. But it's still as I flip it here, like it's going through everything fine. Let me try here. Let's see. This is going to be a terrible spot to do it because I have my desk right here. I'm going to try and aerial the Chaplain. Let's see if I can get this in one go. Oh, no, not one go. Maybe two. That technically wasn't even a real attempt. Oh, okay. I almost caught it. Come on, baby. Sort of, but that'd be hard. Here, let's do it on a Titan. I don't even know if I could do it on the Titan. No, that's with this amount of room, table right here. I can't do that. But I think the Volp, if it was my very first Balisong, I think I would be very pleased. The people I've recommended it to as their first thing, they're like, holy shit, this is so much fun and so cool. And that's ultimately what it's meant to be, is just a good entry level thing. And you can get some customization with it in terms of the color that you want and all that. So, where does that ultimately put it? I like it more than all the 3D printed stuff. I like it more than the Morse, even though the Morse maybe has better grip. I like it more than the Triton V2. I don't like it more than the BB Firefly or the Squid Trainer. So the question is ultimately, do I like it more or less than the Marbles / Squiddy AL? Because the Marbles does have the customizable balance, which is a very cool feature. Let me flip the Marbles again, because this is I knew, especially it being near the end, I knew this was going to be a tough one. I don't like the sound more. It does feel more slippery. God, that's tough. Yeah, the Volp has better grip than the Marbles. I think I like the Volp more than the Marbles. But not more than the Squiddy AL. I think the Squiddy AL, I really like the way the Squiddy AL looks. I like how it reflects light. But, oh man, but that's tough though. Because if we're like, because this... What? Oh, now my monitor died. And that's what's feeding my camera. I can fix this. I got this. I got this, I promise. All right, I think we're coming back. Oh yeah, we're all about the jank. Jank in these parts. Are we back? Camera, you good? You happy? My little FX3 baby boy? There we go. Okay. God, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna ponder on that. That's gonna take me a while to ponder on because it's ultimately gonna come down to because I think the value proposition of the Vulp is slightly better, especially with everything it includes. So that's a tough one. I'll sit on that, and I'm gonna do a final roundup at the end of this anyway. Anyway, a lot of people were talking about the Vulp. Let's talk more about the Vulp. Honestly, to release the Vulp Plus just satin with side grip and better blade, and it'd be not bad for like 90 to 100-ish. Yeah, but 90 to 100, that's what, a $25 to $35 increase on what it currently is. And in a world where the Canyon exists and the Vulp currently being one of the best-selling metal balisongs, increasing the price at all is just going to be risky. So that's the game we have to play, is figuring out what's the best value. And of course we have to make money on it too. That's the part of it. If Nabalis alone was selling the Vulp, and we weren't affiliated with it at all, it could probably be $50 to $55. But of course we need to make something from it. So that's what thickens the plot in that regard. So I don't know where the Vulp will end up, but for now, I think it's still a good entry-level option, but saving $25 and getting a Canyon, especially since it's going to be objectively more durable, I don't disagree with somebody wanting to do that. Will you and Will make a Balisong flipping collaboration to see you? Maybe at some point, but I would say there's currently about a 90% chance we will never do a collaboration with Balisong flipping, which is a whole can of worms. Maybe that day will eventually come. If Balisong flipping ever shows up to any Blade show, actually getting to meet him in person would be probably the thing to maybe break the ice in that regard, but there's just too much weirdness in that relationship. I don't think the pivot weight affected Chaplains as much as the pivot geometry. That's probably fair, yeah. Because the Vulp does have the separation there. So that could definitely be part of it. Chaplain has made me not want to buy a Vulp for myself, but for my friend who's new to flipping, 100% recommend. Yeah, and that's the double-edged sword with it, because like it does genuinely teach you how to Chaplain better than most Balisongs, because it's more forgiving whenever you start. But it's just as you get faster and faster, it gets a little more difficult, but not to a point where it's just unflippable, like some people say. No hate to the makers, but OG Vulp I will never touch again because the first run chevrons actually cut my hand open on fans. That is the first I have ever heard of anything close to that, and I'm a person that's touched 50 plus Vulps, including all of the prototypes. So that's interesting. It cut your hands. That sucks. I'm sorry that happened, Ted. I had no idea that happened. Yeah, anyway, that's enough on the Vulp. Oh, this is all the music. Now, Vulp Pro! Now it's time for me to grab my modded one. Vulp Pro! Alright. I really, really enjoy the Vulp Pro. Again, you can, as you rightfully should, question my opinions on this kind of stuff. That's what I would recommend, because obviously I'm going to have my biases and stuff. But my custom modded zippy Vulp, I obviously have my bias toward, especially because I went through the whole process to mod the G10 scales myself. But this has become my new standard flipper of just, I want to learn a trick, I want to practice something, this is what I go to. I prefer how it flips more than my Nautilus. I think it finds it just combines a lot of what I like. And I talked about this in our main Volt Pro video, but the shiny and relatively grippy 7075 aluminum and the feeling of the G10 and the customizability. The blade, I think the way Will redesigned the blade is great, and it performs in pretty much every trick I've thrown at it great. The stock Volt Pro, in certain ways, flips better than my modded one with the pivots at the bottom, or the screws at the bottom replaced. It just has a little bit more handle weight, which doesn't drastically affect anything, but just makes it feel a little slower to me. So I'm gonna rank it honestly based on this versus my modded one, because my modded one is just so specific. So I think talking about just the stock experience is the best representation of it. So here's the thing. I like my modded Volt Pro more than my stock Volt Pro. And I like the modded Volt Pro more than the Nautilus, but I think it's a peg below the Nautilus for me. But do I enjoy it more than the Cygnus? Because the Cygnus is phenomenal. Volt Pro is low. Volt Pro is, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking cut myself. Volt Pro is low S tier, fantastic beater, TBH. Took it with me to Mexico and had 0 issues the whole month. Okay. Isn't your Volt Pro trainer weight acid wash? Yes, it is. Yeah, this custom one is the only acid wash Volt Pro blade from Nabalis that exists, as far as I know. Oh, hot dog, hot diggity dog. I think it's between the... No. This is another thing I'm going to have to ponder on. I think I like the Volt Pro more than the Cygnus. Just because I think the weight distribution on the Volt Pro just is a little bit better to me. And oh, wow, oh, that's a factor. The chaplain on the Cygnus isn't the most comfy thing. Isn't the most comfy thing. This is a more comfortable chaplain. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put it above the Cygnus, but slightly below the Nautilus V2. Yeah. And the Live Blade, which now has a not so great sharpening job by me. It was my very first time sharpening any knife by hand. But it is sharp. Where's that piece of paper? Oh, okay, I got it nice and sharp. Oh, now, you did the one cut? Okay, no. Okay, no, that's cutting pretty good. I did okay with the sharpening job, thankfully. I still don't think I like the Live Blade more than my custom one, but I do like the Live Blade slightly more than the trainer version. Just because I feel like the weight is just a little bit more distributed. So I'm honestly just going to put them right next to each other. I don't think I like it more than the Nautilus V2 though. But again, I'll ponder that though, because I don't know if that's where it's going to ultimately land for me. Still getting opinions on the Volt Pro. There was a Reddit thread recently that called it a ricer because someone called it a sports car. The Volt Pro is the sports car of, or is a sports car in the Balisong world. I disagree with that. I don't think it's a sports car, but people were calling it a ricer, which means that it's a modified, crappy vehicle made to be closer to something that can race. Which left me with feelings, because I disagree with that opinion too. But the live on the custom, I can do that, and I'm curious about that for sure. But this just looks so cool to me. And of course, the handles would still have the cool look to them, but I just love how the color just carries across the whole blade. But I'll probably give that a go, though. Well, and also another thing that no one will ever be able to experience in a proper way, something that changed with with my custom Volt Pro, is so the first revision, or the first version of the Volt Pro had a smaller channel cutout here, or it had less material removed than the current version does, and that was one of the big decisions that I made. Was like, this feels like it has too much handle weight. But we had one of those prototypes still, and I felt like removing the weight, the bottom weights on the stock Volt Pro made it just a little too light. But with this middle ground of the more aluminum and screws, or the bottom hardware with the zippy stuff, put it in like a perfect middle ground. And that way that I do. Also, oh my god, my internet, why? Why are you disconnecting that often? I'm so sorry, everyone. Dealing with this randomly cutting out. But yeah, eventually I'll probably put the live blade on the custom one and see how that goes. Because I may end up liking it more, who knows? Could you theoretically get it modded by someone to acid wash the Volt Pro trainer blade? Oh yeah, you could definitely acid wash it in some way, especially the uninked version. You could acid wash that for sure. I was reading someone's message. Brandon, can you tell Will for me every single day to put orange and black Volt Pro into permanent production until it happens? The response that we've gotten from that video, I think that it maybe not permanent production, but it will probably be something that we do as a limited run. The problem is that I just don't think that Nabalis can sharpen them, and what completes kind of the look of that is the sharpened blade and the silver hardware. That kind of ties the whole look together, in my opinion. So I don't know, but I think that will eventually become a special edition. Anyway, the Zipper V1. Here's one that I don't even know how many people own. The Zipper V1 from Zippy. This is fascinating. This was sent for free. This was sent for free. He made this just for me. This was the first thing we ever received from Zippy. And it is just a wacky guy. It has the bearings that stick out of the handles. And it has weights in the top. And it's on bearings. And it has the zipper design on it. And it's just weird, but it weirdly feels like one of his more premium things that he's made. So in terms of where all of the 3D printed stuff is at right now, I like it. It's on the lower end of it still. I'd put it below the Squiddies. Not below. It's above the Fun Chucks. I'll be real. But this is a weird one. It has like, it's almost kind of nylon kind of feeling to it. It has like a good grip to it. And I weirdly don't mind the ball bearings in the handles. And it's a sharp contrast. It's a sharp contrast to the Zipper V2, which, in my opinion, I love the look of it a lot more, but it feels less premium than the Zipper V1 did. And it still flips relatively well. It does feel cheap, as a lot of Zippy's older stuff did. And there's a reason these were ultimately discontinued pretty quickly. I paid for this one. But this is a little more... Oh, wow. This has some weird flipping properties. It does not want to roll over very well at all. Can I twirl it? I can twirl it fine. That's a little wacky. I like this less, though, I think. It's very cool construction for sure, but I like it less than the Zipper V1, so that's funny. I think that's the first instance where that's happened, where an older version I like less, or I like more than the updated version. That's interesting. I think it's the best thing MachineWise ever did to configure, customize. I think more companies need that. It's good business strategy, but it takes way too long to get stuff from them. Yeah, that's one of the problems with their with any customized system like that. Is it's a huge logistical pain in the ass to have the customer be able to build whatever they want. Huge logistical pain in the ass. The Zippy Lucha. Boy, my lovely Zippy Lucha. Another enigma in the Balisong world. It flips weirdly good to me. It carries momentum very strangely. And the handles are really long. Like I was talking earlier about how long the Titan handles were. I think with the end caps, I think this is longer. Yeah, like much longer. But this is just a little bundle of weird. This is the V1 version of these handles, and the V2 I would say is better. But Zippy, I have some bias towards this, but I paid for the whole thing. But this rainbow pattern he did for me, like that was all custom. He had to like go through hell to be able to make this, and even help me design it and all that. He's an absolute bro with that stuff. So I really appreciate the Zipper for what it is, but it's not at the end of the day an amazing flipper. So I'm gonna put it honestly just above. I'm gonna put it right above the PDP. Because it's still an enigma in terms of that fully custom handles for a metal blade. I even dropped this on our wood floor the other day pretty damn hard, and it's still kicking like a champ. Oh my god, this has like no tap. It has play, of course, but it does not tap. It's on bearings with a metal blade and plastic handles. I can barely even get that to make a sound. So it's really impressive to me, but not, so it's still B tier, but not anything crazy. Past that, and now, where's it buried? It's buried all the way there. You are. The most expensive Balisong I own. And kind of the most important part of this whole stream, considering the whole point in doing this was deciding where this was going to rank in my list. And the number one reason I like it is the sound. Like, it just has one of the deepest thocks I've heard. Let me show this, because I know the Zyx is a pretty rare boy. So let's... There's the Zyx for you. There are 3 different versions of it. This is the Incept. Each one flips slightly differently. Good background noise filter. Do I have the do I have the filter on? So that's actually not. Can I, if I have that on, can I get rid of that briefly? Advanced audio properties. No, is it in that? No, it's in filters. OBS filters. Do I have? I'm going to turn off the noise suppression for a moment, so this can be properly appreciated. I'm assuming that's coming through now. Oh, as I drop it in. Do I just cut my... I'm wearing an Acid Work shirt. No, it did not. It did not cut. Is this coming through? Can you guys hear how this resonates? God, I'm dropping this directly into my fucking stomach. My God. It rings so crazy. It's like a Squid Trainer V4 ring on a whole nother level. But not like a high-pitched ring that's really, like, just really annoying. And it just... because it's a handle ring. That's what causes the ring. It has almost too much grip in certain ways because there's a texture along the sides of it. It's manufactured by JK Design, which is the reason that this bad boy costs $1,000. Because JK Design charges a lot for his products. Ted, I make the Lord of the Rings joke in the video, and it's great. Or it's not the Lord of the Ring. It's not that joke. But I make a joke about how it's the one ring to rule them all. So there we go. Don't insult the Zyx by comparing it to the fucking Telesto. I flipped the Telesto very, very briefly, and I thought it was fine. But it flips well. It feels relatively heavy. It's only about 4.3 ounces. But it flips great. Everything I've thrown at it. The 3 different models flip relatively closely. With the Lazarus, which has the heaviest blade and the most tip weight. That probably flips the most differently between them. And it fans great because of the tip weight that you get with all the blades. It's one of the best fanning balisongs I've ever flipped. Like, it doesn't want to quit in the fan department. But it's $1,000. And comes with some of the best accessories in the entire business. Comes with a handmade box, like wooden box that's magnetic. It has a pin. It has a digital download code for a 45-minute long album created by Paul, the designer and distributor for this. So it's just such a wacky enigma. Brandon, it looks like you saved top 3 for last, right? Yeah, these are all S tier. But no, oh god, this is so weird and so specific. I find it so difficult to objectively, not objectively, so here's how I got it. I got it because I didn't pay $1,000 in money. I paid $1,000 in my time. I made a promotional video for the Zyx for Paul, and took a bunch of promotional photos and videos that I gave to him to use for whatever purpose he deems necessary. And so it's technically the most I've spent, but I didn't spend it actual money. How much time is $1,000? That was about, with the way I price my like freelance services and stuff, that was about 2.5 days of work to shoot and edit everything that I did for that video. And make 2 different versions of the video, both vertical and horizontal. So I just realized after 4 years of watching your guys' channel, you reverse fan instead of regular fan. Yeah. Yeah, it's a counterclockwise fan. I can fan the other way, but it just feels more natural to reverse fan. Okay, but let's break this down. I don't like it more than the Medusa. I don't like it more than the Live Blade Kraken. I don't like it more than the Serif. Do I like it more than the Kraken V2.5? The Live Blade. The 2.5 is definitely more standard. Or white bread, as some would call it. It's not. It's sourdough. And the Zyx is like some brioche bun shit. The Kraken feels less obnoxious to hold because, as I said, the Zyx is a little too grippy. God, now I don't know, because it's just such a weird guy. I'm now questioning if I like it more than the Volt Pro Live Blade. And the Volt Pro. Because as I've bounced between all of these, I've realized that I like a lot of my balisongs quite a bit. And this just feels rough in my hands. I know where I would place it, but I don't want to influence your opinion. God, I didn't think I was going to be this stumped on it. But now looking at everything here. Oh, here's a fun one. When you close it like this, hold on. Like this, goes really deep thok. Oh. Oh. Oh, there's the ring. Oh, man. Do I need to make a Zyx tier? This is obnoxious. Losing viewers, too. I'm going back and forth on if it's S tier now, because everything I look at in that list, I think I enjoy flipping it more. Or not more. I think I enjoy flipping it less than virtually everything in S tier. Try covering the inside of the channel with tape. Yeah, I talked about it in the video that I shot today on this, that I haven't had the heart to put zippy inserts in this, even though they look really cool, because it would eliminate the ring. And I like the ring so much. God, I did not know this was going to be this difficult. Do I like it more than the Kraken trainer? I don't think so. I like it for subjective reasons. Zyx below knot and Kraken V3 trainer. Maybe, because right now, the thing that is hitting me now, so much so that I might have to make it like a, I might have to amend the video a bit. It just feels really rough to me. I like it more than the Squid Trainer V4. I like it more than the... Yeah, I like it more than the Barracuda. I think. Let me pick up the Barracuda again. Yes, I like it more than the Barracuda. I think it's top of A. Yeah. I don't think I like it more than anything in S. Which is crazy that I thought it was going to be between the V2.5 and the Medusa. But I just don't think it is. Yeah. It's good. It better be for $1,000. Subjective is fine here. Oh yeah, that's just it's not that I'm struggling like, oh, what are people gonna think of where I put it? It's just I didn't know. I thought it would have been an S tier in my mind, but yeah, the texture on it just makes it a bit too rough. Yeah, expensive does not mean best. And now for a great question that Charlie just asked. Where the fuck did it go? Ah. Is it spider time? I hardly know her time. There we go. Finally, 2 Balisongs I actually care about. Being reunited with this and personally saying that I own 4 of them. There's 4 boxes there. There's 4 boxes on top of my record player of all things. There goes the light. Oh my god. Come back. Oh, baby boy. There we go. This thing is so fucking bad. I cannot stress enough how much this sucks to flip. Ted mentioned how the Volp chevrons hurt him. Ted, your hands would fall apart if you even looked at this thing wrong. It barely does anything. It doesn't chaplain. Like literally one of the worst chaplain experiences in the entire hobby. And, oh, here's a fun thing. So, if you recall in our video, where we disassembled this, we discovered that this piece is glued together. So I got this in after we filmed that video, and I was like, hey, I wonder how on this is. With one clipped fingernail. So, 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 wait, what happened to, what? Did it rename it? Oh, I renamed it. I'm so sorry. Oh, it made the, is that the right color? That's not the right color. I don't know. What color was this before? It was green. D. Add a row below. Oh, and then I can edit it. Oh my God, I'm throwing up. Being as objective as I can. This is where, yeah, someone brought up that there's a Will Hirsch with a gun. Yeah, this is where a Brandon clone pops up and shoots me in the head. I cannot stress how bad it is. I have flipped probably 300 to 400 plus different balisongs in my life. And if this was ranked out of 100, no, if this was ranked out of 1,000, it would be a 1. Like, on a scale of 1 to 1,000, this is a 1. So, there's that. Where the hell did the butter knife go? Oh. Now, as I said, this is supposed to be an objective ranking. Oh, Ted, you missed me talking about how the spider knife would make, if the Volp hurt you, this will literally make your hands fall apart. I am not kidding. You might, if the Volp hurt you, your hands will maybe start bleeding across every part of your hand if you touched this. Hey, Brandon, can I send you a vid of me chapping a spider knife? I'm assuming you mean chaplaining. Have you tried the BB Superfly yet? No, I have not. I have not tried a BB Superfly, but I really, really want to. I've heard very good things about it. The butter knife. Ethan and I had to do a cop-out. And the death by spider knife is a cop-out, but if there was an F tier, it would be that. I'm going to genuinely try to rank this as objectively as I can. And if I'm being as objective as I can. Also, sure, send me a video of you chaplaining at one time. There's nowhere else it can go. I love my precious baby boy as I hand as I hand tighten these screws because they fall apart. So from an objective flipping standpoint, it's insane. But I started this talking about how much I enjoy it. This is not enjoyable to flip. But if we use 1,000, a score out of 1,000, this is like 100. And the spider knife is a 1. The Balanza is like a 300 or 400. So you can give me your ranking at Blade Show Atlanta in June of 2024, where if you come up to me and request to flip it, and I'm not in the middle of shooting a video, and I obviously have my balisongs out and ready for people to flip and be able to touch, you can flip it. And let me tell you, it does flip, even though it actively damages itself as I flip it, and I'm going to hand tighten the screws again. But it can chaplain, unlike the spider knife, it can. Rivali's song, oh yeah, baby. Originally the Dragon Roost Island theme. It's bad. But anyway, most of my balisongs appear to be relatively good. B tier got very populated. Looking at B tier, again, these ultimately don't matter. I'm going to put the Squid Trainer in A, just for reference in this list. I think the Titan belongs in A, and I think the Antarctic belongs in A. Yeah, because those are all solid. I like all those quite a bit. And the Swordfish top of B makes perfect sense. You mean Rito Village? No, I do not mean Rito Village. This is technically the Rito Village theme, but everything Rito, that theme, originated in Zelda Wind Waker, in the Dragon Roost Island theme. And that's one of the best Zelda themes ever. So yes, this is technically Rivali's theme, sort of, but then it has bits of Rito Village, and then it has bits of Dragon Roost Island. And this has a mix of a lot of themes. Yeah, so it's mostly Rito Village, but all of that originated in Wind Waker. I have a generally Blade Show question. Is the Bally Pit restricted to mainly creators, or is it open to all? Because as a person who wants to go to Blade at some point, I would love to vibe in the pit. The pit has no structure whatsoever. It is literally a random space in a hotel connected to the Blade Show venue that people just go to hang out, and nobody stops you. Like, there's no security or anything. There's nothing. There's no like, oh, you have to pay to get in, or there are people that are gonna kick you out or anything. No, it is just a free-for-all space that is carpeted that people go to flip. There's usually like some chairs and stuff and couches and everything that you can sit on. But no, it is not a structured thing whatsoever. It is just a specific location that Balisong flippers have decided this is where we're going to go after the show and hang out until 4 in the morning. And it's some of the most fun that you can have at Blade Show. Both being in the Balisong alley, like where Squid Industries is, and hanging out at the pit is some of the most fun you can have in Blade Show. Do most people stay in a particular hotel at Blade Show? There's quite a few in that area. I actually shot a convention late last year at that same hotel. And it is the hotel that the pit is in is actually a very, very nice hotel with some very nice rooms. I know a lot of people stay there. There's a couple hotels that are within very short walking distance, but yeah, most people will just stay in the stuff that's attached to it. The area in general is pretty good. There's not any like 2 out of 10 hotels or anything like that. Most of them are going to be like at least a 7, 8, or 8 out of 10 in quality. I don't stay in a hotel because I live Now I'm a 10-minute drive from Blade Show now, since I live with my girlfriend. But yeah, if you're looking to stay, I would imagine odds are, I don't actually know. Let's do here, I'll throw this up in this corner. Let's do a look-see. Hold on. I'm a professional. Here we go. Let's do a look-see. And also, for those still hanging around, I still I'm gonna go through the list again. But let me look at, it's the Cobb Galleria Center is where it takes place. I believe it's not Holiday Inn Express. It's the Renaissance Waverly Hotel. Let's see the Blade Show weekend. When does Blade Show take place? Blade Show is the dates of June 7th through 9th. So the 7th through the 9th. It is it booked? Oh, it looks like it's booked. It's probably booked. I wouldn't be surprised if it's booked. Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure that will be booked already. But again, most of as you can see in this general area and stuff, like 3.7 stars, 4.1, 3.8, 4.0, 3.6. That's not great. 4.0, 4.6, 4.1. Like most of the hotels are within walking distance of the show. But yeah, I'm gonna gander that it's probably sold out for Blade Show weekend. Yeah. Let's see. If it loads at all, which is very entertaining. Please. No, yeah, it has no rooms available, unfortunately, but you'll be able to stay in stuff near there. Anyway, back to the tier list. So let's review this. Let's go bottom to top. Spider Knife, Death by Spider Knife. Yep. Butter Knife. Yep. Balanza, Andux, Cycloid V1, Bermuda. Yep. Mermaid. I like the Mermaid more than the Bermuda. Not gonna lie. The One Alien. Yep, I like that more. I like the Squiddy more than the Alien. Fortress 2 Spy, Matata, Zipper V, or Fun Chucks. Sorry about the Fun Chucks. I'm doing what I can. Zipper V2, Zipper V1, Squiddy PDP. How did this Squiddy PDP end up in that kind of no man's land? Oh, it's because of the Lucha. Yeah, I like the Lucha better more than the PDP, even though it's weirder. Squiddy WH, Calico. Yep. Edit line, Cycloid HD, edit. Yeah, the placement is pretty close to what ended up in Ethan and I stream for all the 3D printed stuff in that kind of mid B tier range, but they got spread out a little bit more, which I think makes sense. Yep, I like the edit more. I think I like the edit more than the Morse, honestly. I might like them. Yeah, I like the edit more than the Trident V2. Sue me. Marbles. Yeah. I like the edit more than the Marbles. Damn. Look at you go, Flipforge. Volp. Yeah, I like the Volp more than the edit. Squiddy AL more than the Volp. Went back and forth on that a lot more than the Firefly, Squid Trainer, Swordfish, Antarctic, Titan. Yep, those are all easy A's. Orion V1. Yep. Prisma. Yeah. Zyx top of A tier. Then Kraken. So S tier is the one I really want to look at. Kraken V3, bottom of S tier. I do like the Nautilus V1 more. I like the Prisma Pro more than the Nautilus V1. Yes. I like the Cygnus more than the Prisma Pro. like than the other Cygnus more. I do like the Volt Pro more than the Cygnus for the most part. Again, but they're so close. I like the Volt Pro Live Blade. Again, if I was judging my modded Volt Pro, the modded Volt Pro. Oh, my camera died. How did that die? That shouldn't have died. The hell? Hold on. Oh wait, did the monitor die? It's possible the monitor died. No? Oh yeah, the monitor died. That's what did it. This is what I get trying to shoot and do a stream in the same day. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, everybody, for... Oh, no. Bring me back. There we go. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with me. This is a ragtag production here. Where the hell was I? Oh, yeah. If I was ranking my custom Volt Pro, I would put it above the Volt Pro Live Blade. And I would put it above the Nautilus V2. But the stock Volt Pro, I think, is a little bit lesser. But that may change. Again, I'm going to reflect on all this after the fact once I build out my whole big boy list here. Yeah, then the Medusa, then the Kraken Live, and the Serif. So yeah, my top 5. I have 2 Krakens in my top 5. Does that make sense? Serif, Kraken Live. Yeah, because they're so similar. Yeah, I like my V1 more than the V2.5 because of the blade. The Zyx is S tier. Sorry, the Volt Pro is not S tier. Thank God. The Balisong's hobby is unbelievably subjective. The Zyx got S tier or got A tier because the texturing of it is very rough, and as I flipped it more, I've realized it is substantially less comfortable than everything else above it, and that's what ultimately ended up putting it less, because it actually kind of sucks to hold a lot of the time. Not enough to where it's a bad flipper, and I still really enjoy it, and I absolutely love the sound. But the weight distribution just is not as consistent as everything else in S tier, and yeah, my particular Zyx just isn't the most comfortable thing to hold, but not enough to keep it from being the top of A tier. The Balisong market is so volatile, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah. That's what's so funny about people that will die on a hill that well, of course, that person was just giving their opinion, but it's like people that just so staunchly hardcore disagree. It's like, what do you want? They're two very, like, we all do different tricks. We all know different tricks. We're not going to rank things the same. But no, I'm pretty happy with that. So I think with the Zyx, the Lazarus model that I was sent to do the promotional videos for, that one had it was a lot smoother. It had a much more, like this was very obviously pretty roughly tumbled. Or like maybe not tumbled enough because it didn't like smooth out a ton. But the Lazarus was a lot smoother, so I think that's something we're just the different variants of the Zyx people would have different opinions on, because it did feel a lot different. Oh, that sound. Ooh, hot dog, that sound. Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Yeah, I think that's it, everybody. Rounded out at about 11 o'clock. I aimed for a 3-hour stream, and we've been going for a little over 3 hours. So that's not too bad. But this was basically a work task that I turned into this fun experience for everybody. Hope you all learned something. Hope you all had some fun. Thank you to everybody who stuck around. I very, very, very much appreciate everybody here. Getting to do this even in this very, very small niche community is just a blast. And as we continue to struggle with finding our financial footing amidst all the different products we have and the ever-changing YouTube algorithm, and trying to make videos consistently while balancing all of our other obligations that we have. Don't know if I'll be doing this forever, but I know just getting to know the people that I do and make the memories that I have and be in the position that I am is something that I will never take for granted. Some of my closest friends are now through this hobby, Ethan in particular, who I would consider one of my best friends. Like, period, not even in the Balisong world, like one of my closest friends in that I wouldn't trade for the world. So it's very cool. And the fact that I am at this many Balisongs now is just insane. And it makes me almost want to like lock up some of them in a vault just so I don't have this many. So that I can just stay focused on the ones that really matter to me. But you never know when you're going to need them or need to talk about them or anything like that. So this was a lot of fun, and now I have more work to do in officially categorizing all these and figuring out how I'm going to make this sheet work and make it sortable. I think I know how I'm going to make it sortable, but Google Sheets is just kind of wacky, so I'm going to need to spend some time with that. But the goal of it is to be able to make it sortable by price, by maker, by the name, by the rank, by the material, and all that fun stuff. So I aim to make it as useful as possible. It's crazy that I paid him to say that. You did. Did you sell the light that I bought you? And then you paid me that money? Ethan, go cry happy tear. Go stare at a cloud in the sky with a solar eclipse behind it. No, I'm kidding. I'm so sorry about that. Your solar eclipse video was amazing, and I loved it. The writing on that was exceptional. Maker, that's how we do it. That light helped me give a presentation two days ago. Too soon, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Iceland 2026. I will go to Iceland with you to go watch a solar eclipse. You don't know how actually down I am to do that and to help pay for that kind of thing. That would be a blast to go to Iceland to do that. Even if we didn't even get to see an eclipse, I would actually do that. And thank you, Charlie. But that is me, Brandon Teeth Baker. That is me. Also, wow, that just pinched the shit out of me, as it also stabbed me earlier. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for the opinions. Thanks for sticking with me through all of this. Thanks for the support. Thanks for everything that you do. I know Will and I are not perfect people, but we're trying to do this as genuinely as we can and bring some pretty cool products to the table. But it turns out that's really, really hard to do. But we're doing our best, so... Your parents might plan that. Yeah, I think you guys should do it. I think that would be an amazing trip. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I am tired of shit, and I'm gonna go cuddle with my girlfriend and then shoot the Will Her Squiddy feature video tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. So, thank you. This has been Brandon Baker, and good luck on whatever adventures you may go on. And then I awkwardly look at OBS so I can change to the stream starting soon thing. Thank you, everybody. I love you all so much. Good night and farewell.